For 165 million years, dinosaurs ruled Earth, a span of time so vast it dwarfs human existence by a factor of 825. During the Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous periods, these creatures evolved from modest bipedal reptiles no larger than dogs into the largest land animals that have ever lived. Argentinosaurus stretched over 100 feet long and weighed perhaps 100 tons. Tyrannosaurus rex crushed bone with 12,800 pounds of bite force. Velociraptors hunted in coordinated packs, and some dinosaurs, like Maiasaura, cared for their young in colonial nesting grounds. The fossil record, written in sedimentary rock across 6 continents, reveals not monsters of fantasy, but real animals, eating, migrating, competing, and adapting across changing climates. From the supercontinent Pangaea to the familiar shapes of modern landmasses, dinosaurs witnessed the breakup of Earth's crust itself. Their story isn't just about size or extinction, it's about resilience, diversity, and the intricate workings of deep time. Settle in for 3 hours of the most fascinating facts from paleontology's greatest discoveries. The story of dinosaurs begins not with their first steps, but with a world in crisis. About 252 million years ago, Earth was reeling from the end Permian extinction, the most severe mass extinction event in the planet's history. Up to 96% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial vertebrate species vanished, leaving behind a landscape of opportunity and uncertainty. The supercontinent Pangaea stretched almost pole to pole, its vast interior dominated by arid deserts and seasonal extremes. This was the dawn of the Mesozoic Era, a time that would eventually give rise to the age of dinosaurs. But first, the stage had to be set. The Mesozoic Era is divided into 3 periods: Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous. The Triassic, spanning from 252 to 201 million years ago, was a time of recovery and experimentation. The survivors of the Permian extinction, mostly small, hardy reptiles and amphibians, began to diversify. Among them were the archosaurs, a group that would eventually split into crocodilians, pterosaurs, and most famously, dinosaurs. But in these early days, archosaurs were just one of several contenders for dominance. Therapsids, sometimes called mammal-like reptiles, also thrived, and for a time it was unclear which lineage would come to rule the land. What did Earth look like during the Triassic? Imagine a single, massive landmass surrounded by a global ocean. Pangaea's interior was dry, with little rainfall and extreme temperatures. The climate was generally hot, and the lack of polar ice meant sea levels were higher than today. Vegetation was sparse, dominated by hardy conifers, cycads, and ginkgos. The absence of lush forests and flowering plants made the landscape seem almost alien compared to modern times. In this challenging environment, evolution worked quickly. Archosaurs developed upright postures, allowing them to move more efficiently than their sprawling competitors. This seemingly simple change, legs positioned directly beneath the body, would prove crucial. Upright posture meant faster movement, better support for larger bodies, and more efficient breathing. It's a subtle shift, but one that set the stage for the rise of giants. The fossil record from the Triassic is patchy, but it offers tantalizing glimpses of early life. In places like the Ishigualasto Formation in Argentina and the Chinle Formation in the southwestern United States, paleontologists have uncovered the remains of some of the earliest dinosaurs and their relatives. These sites reveal a world in flux, where new forms were constantly emerging and old ones fading away. But why did archosaurs succeed where others failed? Part of the answer lies in their adaptability. Archosaurs were able to exploit a range of ecological niches, from small insectivores to large predators. Their eggs had hard shells, offering protection from the harsh environment. Some developed armor or elaborate crests, while others grew long necks or powerful jaws. This diversity gave them an edge in a world where survival was anything but guaranteed. The Triassic also saw the first appearance of marine reptiles like ichthyosaurs and nothosaurs, as well as the earliest flying vertebrates, pterosaurs. These groups, while not dinosaurs, shared the archosaur heritage and would play important roles in Mesozoic ecosystems. The seas teemed with ammonites and other invertebrates, while the land was home to a mix of old and new, ancient amphibians, early mammals, and the first true dinosaurs. As the Triassic progressed, the balance of power began to shift. Therapsids declined, and archosaurs became increasingly dominant. By the end of the period, dinosaurs were poised to take center stage. But the transition was not smooth. The Triassic-Jurassic extinction event, around 201 million years ago, wiped out many competitors and cleared the way for the age of dinosaurs. What caused these mass extinctions? The evidence points to massive volcanic eruptions, particularly those associated with the Central Atlantic magmatic province. These eruptions released vast amounts of carbon dioxide and other gases, triggering climate change, ocean acidification, and habitat loss. The result was another wave of extinctions, but also another opportunity for those who survived. The Mesozoic's beginning is a story of resilience and transformation. From the ashes of catastrophe, new life emerged, adaptable, innovative, and ready to shape the future. The stage was set, the players assembled, and the curtain was about to rise on one of the most extraordinary chapters in Earth's history. The Triassic world was a place of constant change, and its landscapes were as dynamic as the life that inhabited them. Pangaea's vastness meant that the climate varied dramatically from one region to another. In the equatorial zones, searing heat and seasonal monsoons shaped the terrain, while the poles, though warmer than today, still experienced long periods of darkness. The lack of significant mountain ranges allowed winds to sweep across the continent, carrying dust and sand for hundreds of miles. Rivers carved through rocky plains, and shallow lakes appeared and disappeared with the shifting seasons. These environmental pressures forced organisms to adapt quickly or face extinction. Among the survivors of the Permian crisis, archosaurs began to stand out. Their revolutionary innovations were subtle but profound. The upright stance, for example, was more than just a way to move faster. It allowed for greater endurance and stability. Archosaurs could run for longer distances, pursue prey, and escape predators more effectively than their sprawling contemporaries. Their hips and ankles were restructured to support this new posture, and their lungs became more efficient, enabling them to thrive in low-oxygen environments. These changes didn't happen overnight. They were the result of countless generations adapting to the demands of a harsh world. The fossil record from the Triassic is a patchwork, with some regions offering rich deposits and others almost barren. In South America, the Ishigualasto Formation has yielded some of the oldest known dinosaur fossils, including Eoraptor and Herrerasaurus. These animals were small, agile, and likely omnivorous, living alongside larger predators and herbivores. Their bones tell a story of experimentation. Different limb proportions, tooth shapes, and body sizes hint at a period of rapid evolution. In North America, the Chinle Formation preserves a similar diversity, with early dinosaurs sharing their environment with phytosaurs, Rauisuchians, and other archosaur relatives. It's easy to imagine the Triassic as a time of giants, but most early dinosaurs were modest in size. Eoraptor, for instance, measured just over a meter in length and weighed less than a house cat. Herrerasaurus, slightly larger, was still dwarfed by some of the other reptiles of its time. The real giants would come later, but these early forms laid the groundwork for what was to follow. Their success was not guaranteed. Competition was fierce, and extinction was always a possibility. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Triassic is the coexistence of multiple archosaur lineages. While dinosaurs were beginning to emerge, other groups like the Crurotarsans, ancestors of modern crocodiles, were also diversifying. Some Crurotarsans grew to impressive sizes and occupied top predator roles in their ecosystems. Their armored bodies and powerful jaws made them formidable hunters, and for a time, they overshadowed the early dinosaurs. Yet, as the Triassic drew to a close, environmental upheaval would tip the scales in favor of the dinosaurs. The end of the Triassic was marked by another mass extinction, one that would reshape the biosphere yet again. The Central Atlantic Magmatic Province, a vast region of volcanic activity, erupted over millions of years, releasing enormous quantities of lava and gases. The resulting climate change was catastrophic. Temperatures soared, ocean chemistry shifted, and many species disappeared. This extinction event cleared away many of the dominant reptilian groups, leaving ecological niches open for the dinosaurs to fill. Throughout this period, the pace of evolution was relentless. New forms appeared, adapted, and sometimes vanished within a few million years. The fossil record captures this churn, with layers of rock preserving the remains of creatures that lived, died, and were replaced by others. Paleontologists use these clues to reconstruct ancient ecosystems, piecing together the relationships between species and the environments they inhabited. Each discovery adds another piece to the puzzle, revealing a world that was both familiar and alien. The Triassic also saw the emergence of the first true mammals, small and nocturnal, eking out a living in the shadows of larger reptiles. These early mammals were descendants of the therapsids, survivors of the Permian extinction. Their presence in the fossil record is a reminder that the story of life on Earth is one of persistence and adaptation. While dinosaurs would dominate the Mesozoic, mammals were quietly laying the foundations for their own future success. As the Triassic gave way to the Jurassic, the stage was set for an explosion of diversity. Dinosaurs, once minor players, were poised to become the dominant terrestrial vertebrates. Their evolutionary advantages, upright posture, efficient lungs, and hard-shelled eggs, would allow them to thrive in a world that was constantly changing. The legacy of the Triassic is not just the rise of dinosaurs, but the resilience of life itself in the face of adversity. The closing chapter of the Triassic period is a testament to the unpredictability of evolution and the profound impact of environmental change. As the world edged toward the Jurassic, the supercontinent Pangaea was beginning to show signs of rifting. Tectonic forces deep within the Earth's mantle were slowly pulling the landmass apart, creating fault lines and volcanic hotspots. These geological processes would eventually split Pangaea into the continents we recognize today. But in the late Triassic, they were already influencing climate and habitats. Volcanic eruptions released not only lava, but also vast amounts of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide, altering atmospheric chemistry and contributing to global warming and acid rain. These changes put additional stress on ecosystems already struggling to recover from earlier extinctions. In this turbulent setting, the evolutionary arms race continued. Archosaurs, with their upright stance and efficient respiratory systems, were better equipped to handle the fluctuating oxygen levels and extreme temperatures. Their eggs, protected by hard shells, could survive in drier conditions where amphibian eggs would perish. This gave archosaurs a reproductive advantage, allowing them to colonize new environments and outcompete other vertebrates. The fossil record shows a steady increase in archosaur diversity during the late Triassic, with new species appearing in rapid succession. Yet, the rise of dinosaurs was not a foregone conclusion. For much of the Triassic, they remained relatively small and ecologically marginal. Larger predators like the Rauisuchians and phytosaurs dominated the food chains, while herbivorous synapsids and early crocodile relatives filled other niches. Dinosaurs were opportunists, taking advantage of openings left by the decline of other groups. Their success was gradual, marked by incremental changes in anatomy and behavior rather than sudden leaps. One of the most significant evolutionary developments of this era was the diversification of feeding strategies. Early dinosaurs experimented with different diets, as evidenced by variations in tooth shape and jaw structure. Some, like the early sauropodomorphs, began to specialize in eating tough, fibrous plants, developing longer necks and barrel-shaped bodies to process large quantities of vegetation. Others, such as the theropods, honed their predatory skills, evolving sharp teeth and claws for capturing prey. This ecological flexibility allowed dinosaurs to exploit a range of resources, increasing their chances of survival in a changing world. The late Triassic also witnessed the emergence of the first true pterosaurs, the earliest vertebrates to achieve powered flight. These remarkable animals, with their elongated finger bones supporting membranous wings, opened up new ecological possibilities. Pterosaurs could travel long distances in search of food, escape terrestrial predators, and exploit aerial niches unavailable to other reptiles. Their fossils, found in places like the Alps and Brazil, provide evidence of a rapidly diversifying group that would become a fixture of Mesozoic skies. Meanwhile, the oceans were undergoing their own transformation. Marine reptiles such as ichthyosaurs and nothosaurs flourished in the Triassic seas, preying on fish and cephalopods. Ammonites, with their coiled shells and intricate suture patterns, became abundant and diverse, serving as important index fossils for dating rock layers. The interplay between land and sea, predator and prey, created a dynamic web of life that was constantly evolving in response to environmental pressures. Despite these bursts of innovation, the end of the Triassic was marked by another wave of extinction. The causes are complex and still debated, but the evidence points to a combination of volcanic activity, climate change, and possibly asteroid impacts. The Central Atlantic Magmatic Province, one of the largest volcanic provinces in Earth's history, erupted over a period of several million years, releasing enough lava to cover the continental United States several times over. The associated release of greenhouse gases led to rapid warming, ocean acidification, and a collapse of many marine and terrestrial ecosystems. This extinction event, though not as severe as the end Permian, was nonetheless devastating. Many dominant reptile groups, including the large crurotarsans and several marine reptiles, disappeared. In their absence, dinosaurs found new opportunities to expand and diversify. The survivors of the Triassic-Jurassic boundary were those best able to adapt to the new conditions, flexible, resilient, and ready to exploit the ecological niches left vacant by the extinctions. The transition from the Triassic to the Jurassic marks a turning point in the history of life on Earth. Dinosaurs, once minor players, emerged as the dominant terrestrial vertebrates, setting the stage for the spectacular diversity that would characterize the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods. The lessons of the Triassic are clear. Survival depends on adaptability, and the winners in the evolutionary race are often those who can weather the storms of change. As paleontologists continue to unearth fossils from this pivotal era, new discoveries challenge old assumptions and reveal the complexity of ancient ecosystems. Each bone, tooth, and footprint adds to our understanding of how life responded to crisis and opportunity. The Triassic may have ended in upheaval, but it left a legacy of innovation and resilience that would shape the world for millions of years to come. The earliest dinosaurs emerged quietly, their arrival marked not by dominance, but by adaptation and persistence. Around 231 million years ago, in what is now northwestern Argentina, the fossil beds of the Ishigualasto Formation preserve a remarkable record of this pivotal moment. Here, paleontologists have uncovered the remains of Eoraptor, Herrerasaurus, and other early dinosaurs, small, agile creatures that would set the evolutionary template for the next 160 million years. These animals were not the towering giants of later ages, but their anatomical innovations would prove decisive. Eoraptor, one of the oldest known dinosaurs, was a lightly built, bipedal animal about 1 meter long. Its name means dawn thief, a nod to its place at the very beginning of dinosaur history. Eoraptor's teeth suggest it was an opportunistic feeder, capable of eating both plants and small animals. Its slender limbs and flexible hands hint at a life spent darting through undergrowth, searching for food and avoiding larger predators. Herrerasaurus, slightly larger and more robust, was a carnivore with sharp teeth and powerful jaws. At about 3 to 6 meters in length, it was among the top predators of its ecosystem, preying on other reptiles, and perhaps even early dinosaurs. What set these early dinosaurs apart from their contemporaries? The answer lies in their hips and legs. Dinosaurs are divided into two major groups, based on the structure of their hips. Saurischians, lizard-hipped, and ornithischians, bird-hipped. Saurischians include the ancestors of both the giant sauropods and the fearsome theropods, while ornithischians would later give rise to armored, horned, and duck-billed dinosaurs. This split occurred early in dinosaur evolution, and the differences in hip structure had profound implications for posture, locomotion, and even digestion. The upright, pillar-like legs of dinosaurs allowed for more efficient movement than the sprawling limbs of many other reptiles. This adaptation freed their hands for grasping, digging, or manipulating food, and it enabled them to grow larger without sacrificing mobility. The earliest dinosaurs were small, but their body plan was scalable, a key reason why later forms could reach such enormous sizes. Their bones were also lightweight and often hollow, reducing weight without sacrificing strength. These features, combined with rapid growth rates, gave dinosaurs a competitive edge in the dynamic environments of the late Triassic. The Ischigualasto Formation is not the only site to yield early dinosaur fossils. In Brazil, the Santa Maria Formation has produced Staurikosaurus, another small, agile predator. In Africa, the fossil record is more fragmentary, but discoveries in Tanzania and Zimbabwe suggest that early dinosaurs were already spreading across Pangaea. These animals lived alongside a diverse array of other reptiles, including large Rauisuchians, crocodile-like phytosaurs, and the first true turtles. The competition was intense, and survival depended on speed, agility, and adaptability. Despite their advantages, early dinosaurs were not the dominant animals of their time. In many ecosystems, they were outnumbered by other archosaurs and synapsids. The fossil record shows that dinosaurs made up only a small fraction of the vertebrate fauna in most late Triassic environments. Their rise to prominence would come later, after a series of extinction events cleared the way for their expansion. For now, they were survivors, flexible, opportunistic, and ready to exploit any opening. The split between Saurischians and Ornithischians is one of the most important events in dinosaur evolution. Saurischians, with their forward-pointing pubis bones, retained the ancestral hip structure seen in early reptiles. This group includes the ancestors of both the long-necked sauropodomorphs and the predatory theropods. Ornithischians, by contrast, evolved a backward-pointing pubis, creating a more bird-like hip arrangement. This change allowed for a larger gut, which was useful for digesting tough plant material. Ornithischians would later diversify into a wide range of herbivorous forms, from the armored stegosaurs to the beaked hadrosaurs. The earliest members of both groups were small and lightly built, but their evolutionary trajectories soon diverged. Sauropodomorphs began to experiment with larger body sizes and longer necks, while theropods honed their predatory skills. Ornithischians, meanwhile, developed new ways of processing plant food, including complex teeth and powerful jaws. These innovations set the stage for the incredible diversity of dinosaurs that would follow in the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods. The late Triassic was a time of experimentation, with many different lineages vying for survival. Some, like the early dinosaurs, would go on to dominate the world. Others, like the Rauisuchians and phytosaurs, would disappear in the next wave of extinctions. The fossil record captures this moment of transition, preserving the bones, teeth, and footprints of animals caught between eras. The world in which these first dinosaurs lived was both familiar and strange. Pangaea's vast expanse meant that land animals could, in theory, roam from what is now South America to Europe or Africa without ever crossing a sea. Yet the climate and environment varied dramatically across this supercontinent. In the regions that would become Argentina and Brazil, lush river valleys and seasonal floodplains provided a patchwork of habitats. These areas were prone to periodic droughts and floods, creating a dynamic landscape where only the most adaptable species could thrive. The fossil beds of the Ischigualasto and Santa Maria formations capture this diversity. preserving not just dinosaurs, but a host of other creatures, amphibians, early turtles, and a variety of archosaur relatives. The competition for resources was intense. Early dinosaurs like Eoraptor and Herrerasaurus shared their world with larger, more established predators such as the Rauisuchians. These crocodile-like reptiles could reach lengths of up to 6 meters and were equipped with powerful jaws and armored bodies. In many ecosystems, Rauisuchians were the apex predators, while dinosaurs occupied more marginal roles. Yet the dinosaurs' unique adaptations, lightweight skeletons, upright posture, and efficient lungs, gave them an edge in certain environments, especially those subject to rapid change. One of the most fascinating aspects of early dinosaur evolution is the speed at which they diversified. Within a few million years, dinosaurs had spread across much of Pangaea, adapting to a variety of ecological niches. Some, like the early sauropodomorphs, began to experiment with herbivory, developing longer necks and barrel-shaped bodies to process tough plant material. Others, such as the small theropods, remained agile predators, preying on insects, small reptiles, and even each other. This rapid diversification is evident in the fossil record, which shows a proliferation of new species and body plans during the late Triassic. The process of fossilization itself is a rare and remarkable event. For a dinosaur to become fossilized, it had to die in just the right conditions, often in a riverbed or floodplain where sediment could quickly cover its remains. Over millions of years, minerals would replace the organic material, turning bone into stone. The result is a snapshot of ancient life, preserved in rock for scientists to discover millions of years later. The Ishigualasto Formation, for example, is a treasure trove of such fossils, offering a window into a world long vanished. Paleontologists use a variety of techniques to study these fossils. By examining the microscopic structure of bones, they can estimate growth rates and determine whether an animal was a juvenile or an adult. Tooth wear patterns reveal clues about diet, while the arrangement of limb bones can indicate how an animal moved. In some cases, fossilized footprints, known as trace fossils, provide direct evidence of behavior, such as herding, hunting, or migration. These clues help scientists reconstruct not just the appearance of early dinosaurs, but also their lifestyles and interactions with other species. The rise of dinosaurs was not a simple story of one group replacing another. Instead, it was a complex process shaped by environmental change, competition, and chance. The end of the Triassic period was marked by a series of extinction events, triggered by massive volcanic eruptions and climate shifts. These upheavals wiped out many of the dominant reptile groups, including the Rauisuchians and phytosaurs, clearing the way for dinosaurs to expand into new roles. The survivors were those best able to adapt to the changing world, flexible, opportunistic, and resilient. As dinosaurs spread across Pangaea, they continued to evolve and diversify. The split between Saurischians and Ornithischians became more pronounced, with each group exploring different evolutionary pathways. Saurischians gave rise to the first large herbivores and agile predators, while Ornithischians began to develop specialized adaptations for processing plant material. This early experimentation laid the foundation for the incredible diversity of dinosaurs that would characterize the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods. The story of the first dinosaurs is a reminder that evolution is not a straight line, but a branching tree with many dead ends and unexpected turns. The animals that would one day dominate the planet began as small, unremarkable creatures, eking out a living in the shadows of larger predators. Their success was not inevitable, but the result of a unique combination of anatomical innovations, environmental opportunities, and sheer persistence. As paleontologists continue to explore the fossil beds of South America, Africa, and beyond, new discoveries are constantly reshaping our understanding of dinosaur origins. Each new find adds another piece to the puzzle, revealing a world that was both alien and familiar. The first dinosaurs may have taken their steps quietly, but their legacy would echo through the ages. shaping the course of life on Earth for millions of years to come. The evolutionary journey of the first dinosaurs is best understood not as a sudden leap, but as a gradual process shaped by both opportunity and adversity. As the late Triassic period unfolded, the world's ecosystems were in a state of flux. Volcanic activity, shifting climates, and the slow breakup of Pangaea created a patchwork of habitats, each with its own challenges and resources. In this ever-changing landscape, adaptability was the key to survival. Early dinosaurs, with their lightweight skeletons and efficient respiratory systems, were well suited to these demands. Their ability to move quickly and cover large distances allowed them to exploit new environments as they arose, giving them a crucial edge over less mobile competitors. The fossil record from this time is a testament to the diversity and experimentation that characterized early dinosaur evolution. In addition to Eoraptor and Herrerasaurus, paleontologists have identified a range of other early forms, each with its own unique adaptations. Staurikosaurus, from Brazil, was a small, agile predator with long legs and sharp teeth, likely preying on insects and small vertebrates. Saturnalia, another early sauropodomorph, showed the beginnings of the long neck and herbivorous diet that would later define its descendants. These animals were not isolated oddities, but part of a broader trend toward increased diversity and specialization. One of the most significant developments of this era was the emergence of social behavior. While direct evidence is rare, some fossil sites contain multiple individuals of the same species preserved together, suggesting that early dinosaurs may have lived and traveled in groups. This behavior would have offered several advantages, including protection from predators, increased foraging efficiency, and better care for young. The evolution of sociality is a recurring theme in the history of life, and its appearance among early dinosaurs foreshadowed the complex herding and nesting behaviors seen in later species. The anatomy of these first dinosaurs reveals a blend of primitive and advanced features. Their skulls were lightly built, with large openings to reduce weight and accommodate strong jaw muscles. Their teeth varied in shape and size, reflecting a range of diets from carnivory to omnivory and herbivory. The structure of their hands and feet allowed for grasping, digging, and running, while their tails provided balance during rapid movement. These adaptations were not unique to dinosaurs, but their particular combination set the stage for future success. As the Triassic period drew to a close, the stage was set for a dramatic shift in the balance of power. The end Triassic extinction, triggered by massive volcanic eruptions and rapid climate change, decimated many of the dominant reptile groups. The Rauisuchians, phytosaurs, and several other archosaur lineages disappeared, leaving ecological vacancies that dinosaurs were quick to fill. This pattern, where mass extinction events create opportunities for new groups to rise, has played out repeatedly in Earth's history. For the dinosaurs, it marked the beginning of their ascent to global dominance. The spread of dinosaurs across Pangaea was facilitated by their adaptability and mobility. Fossil evidence shows that by the end of the Triassic, dinosaurs had reached every major landmass, from South America to Europe, Africa, and even Antarctica. Their ability to thrive in a variety of climates and environments was a testament to their evolutionary flexibility. Some species adapted to arid deserts, while others flourished in lush river valleys or dense forests. This ecological versatility would become one of the hallmarks of dinosaur success. The legacy of these early dinosaurs is still being uncovered today. Each new fossil discovery adds to our understanding of how these animals lived, evolved, and interacted with their environment. Advances in technology, such as CT scanning and isotopic analysis, allow scientists to peer inside fossilized bones and teeth, revealing details about growth rates, metabolism, and even diet. These insights help paint a more complete picture of the world's first dinosaurs, transforming them from mere skeletons into living, breathing creatures. The story of the first dinosaurs is not just about anatomy or adaptation, it is also about resilience, These animals survived in a world marked by instability and change, overcoming competition from larger, more established predators and weathering the environmental upheavals that marked the end of the Triassic. Their success was not inevitable, but the result of a unique combination of traits that allowed them to seize the opportunities presented by a changing world. As the Jurassic period dawned, the descendants of these early pioneers would go on to achieve sizes and forms never before seen on land. The humble beginnings of Eoraptor, Herrerasaurus, and their kin set the stage for the Age of Giants, when dinosaurs would become the undisputed rulers of the terrestrial world. Their story is a reminder that even the mightiest lineages often begin in obscurity, their future shaped by chance, adaptation, and the relentless march of time. The Triassic period, spanning from about 252 to 201 million years ago, was a time of profound transformation for both the planet and its inhabitants. The world's continents were still fused into the supercontinent Pangaea, a colossal landmass that stretched from pole to pole and was surrounded by the vast Panthalassic Ocean. This unique geography shaped the climate, ecosystems, and evolutionary pathways of the time. The interior of Pangaea was dominated by arid deserts and seasonal extremes, while the coastal regions experienced more temperate conditions. The absence of significant mountain ranges meant that weather patterns were largely dictated by the vastness of the land and the proximity to the sea. Life in the Triassic was marked by both recovery and innovation. The end Permian extinction had wiped out the majority of marine and terrestrial species, leaving ecological niches open for new groups to exploit. In the oceans, ammonites, bivalves, and early marine reptiles began to diversify, while on land, the archosaurs, ancestors of crocodiles, pterosaurs, and dinosaurs, emerged as key players. The early Triassic landscape was populated by a mix of survivors and newcomers, each vying for dominance in a world still reeling from catastrophe. The climate of the Triassic was generally hot and dry, with little evidence of polar ice. Seasonal monsoons brought brief periods of rain to the interior, but for much of the year, the land was parched and inhospitable. Vegetation was dominated by hardy plants such as conifers, cycads, and ginkgos, which could withstand the harsh conditions. These plants formed the basis of the food chain, supporting a variety of herbivorous reptiles and, eventually, the first true dinosaurs. The scarcity of water and the unpredictability of the climate placed a premium on adaptability, favoring species that could survive in a range of environments. The early Triassic saw the rise of several important reptile groups. Among them were the Crurotarsans, a diverse lineage that included the ancestors of modern crocodiles, as well as a variety of large predatory forms. These animals were often heavily armored, with thick scutes covering their bodies, and many walked with a semi-erect posture that allowed for greater mobility than their sprawling ancestors. Crurotarsans occupied a range of ecological roles, from top predators to omnivores and even herbivores. Their success was due in part to their adaptability and the relative scarcity of competitors in the wake of the Permian extinction. Therapsids, sometimes called mammal-like reptiles, were another major group during the early Triassic. These animals had dominated the late Permian, but their numbers were greatly reduced by the extinction event. The survivors were generally small and nocturnal, eking out a living in the shadows of larger reptiles. Over time, some therapsids evolved into the first true mammals, a lineage that would remain in the background until the end of the Mesozoic. The competition between archosaurs and therapsids was fierce, with each group exploring different evolutionary strategies in the race for survival. As the Triassic progressed, the balance of power began to shift. Archosaurs, with their upright posture and efficient respiratory systems, gradually outcompeted the sprawling therapsids and other reptile groups. Their eggs, protected by hard shells, could survive in drier environments, giving them a reproductive advantage. The fossil record shows a steady increase in archosaur diversity during the Middle and Late Triassic, with new species appearing in rapid succession. This period of experimentation set the stage for the eventual rise of dinosaurs, pterosaurs, and crocodilians. The Jurassic period, beginning around 201 million years ago and lasting until about 145 million years ago, ushered in a new era for dinosaurs and the planet itself. The world was changing rapidly. Pangaea was breaking apart, creating new continents and ocean basins. This tectonic activity not only reshaped the geography, but also influenced climate, rainfall patterns, and the distribution of habitats. The result was a patchwork of environments, from lush coastal forests to vast inland plains, each offering unique opportunities for life to flourish. Dinosaurs, having survived the upheavals of the Triassic, were poised to take full advantage of these changes. The fossil record from the early Jurassic reveals a remarkable burst of dinosaur diversity. Sauropodomorphs, the ancestors of the giant sauropods, began to increase in size and number, spreading across the continents. These animals evolved long necks and massive bodies, adaptations that allowed them to reach high into the trees for food and process large quantities of tough plant material. The evolution of such enormous size was made possible by a combination of anatomical innovations, including lightweight, air-filled bones, and efficient respiratory systems. These traits reduced the energy cost of supporting a massive body and allowed sauropodomorphs to grow quickly and reproduce successfully. The rise of large herbivores had profound effects on the structure of ecosystems. As sauropodomorphs spread across the continents, they shaped the evolution of plants, driving the development of new defenses such as spines, toxins, and tough leaves. The presence of these giants also influenced the behavior and evolution of other animals, including smaller herbivores and predators. The dynamic interplay between plants and herbivores created complex food webs, with each group adapting in response to the other. The Jurassic period was a time of remarkable ecological expansion, and the fossil evidence from this era paints a vivid picture of a world teeming with life. As the continents drifted apart, new coastlines and mountain ranges emerged, creating a mosaic of habitats that encouraged speciation and diversification. The climate was generally warm and humid, with higher sea levels than today. This allowed for the development of extensive shallow seas, lush forests, and open woodlands, all of which provided abundant resources for the rapidly diversifying dinosaur fauna. Sauropods, the largest land animals to ever exist, began their ascent during the Jurassic. Early forms like Volcanodon and Barapasaurus gave way to giants such as Brachiosaurus, Diplodocus, and Apatosaurus. These animals could reach lengths of over 30 meters and weigh as much as 50 tons. Their long necks allowed them to browse vegetation high above the ground, while their massive bodies could process large quantities of plant material. The evolution of air-filled bones, known as pneumaticity, was a key adaptation that reduced the weight of their skeletons and made such enormous size possible. Sauropods also developed columnar legs and wide, stable feet to support their bulk, and their digestive systems were highly specialized for breaking down tough plant fibers. The presence of these giants had a profound impact on Jurassic ecosystems. Sauropods acted as ecological engineers, shaping the landscape through their feeding and movement. Their browsing habits influenced the structure of forests, promoting the growth of certain plant species while suppressing others. The sheer volume of plant material consumed by sauropods created opportunities for other animals, including smaller herbivores and scavengers, to exploit the leftovers. The dung produced by these giants enriched the soil, supporting a diverse community of insects, fungi, and microorganisms. Predatory dinosaurs also flourished during the Jurassic. Theropods, the group that includes all carnivorous dinosaurs and eventually birds, evolved a range of sizes and hunting strategies. Allosaurus, one of the most iconic Jurassic predators, was a formidable hunter with sharp teeth, powerful jaws, and strong clawed hands. It likely preyed on large herbivores, using its agility and strength to bring down animals many times its own size. Other theropods, such as Ceratosaurus and Megalosaurus, occupied different ecological niches, hunting smaller prey or scavenging carcasses. The evolution of hollow bones and three-fingered hands improved their agility and grasping ability, traits that would be refined over millions of years. The Morrison Formation in North America and the Tendaguru Formation in Tanzania are two of the most important fossil sites from the Jurassic. These formations have yielded thousands of dinosaur fossils, providing detailed snapshots of ancient ecosystems. The Morrison Formation, for example, preserves a rich diversity of sauropods, theropods, and ornithischians, along with fossilized plants, invertebrates, and trace fossils such as footprints and coprolites, fossilized dung. These sites reveal complex food webs, with herbivores feeding on diverse plant life and predators hunting both small and large prey. Jurassic ecosystems were not limited to dinosaurs. Pterosaurs, the first vertebrates capable of powered flight, diversified into a variety of forms, from small insectivores to large soaring species. Their ability to travel long distances in search of food and escape terrestrial predators gave them access to new resources and allowed them to exploit aerial niches unavailable to other reptiles. Marine reptiles like plesiosaurs and ichthyosaurs thrived in the oceans, filling ecological roles similar to modern dolphins and seals. These groups contributed to the rich tapestry of Mesozoic life, coexisting with dinosaurs and competing for resources. The climate of the Jurassic was generally stable, but regional variations existed. Some areas experienced seasonal fluctuations, with wet and dry periods influencing the availability of food and water. These changes would have affected dinosaur behavior, migration patterns, and reproductive cycles. The ability to adapt to changing conditions was a key factor in the success of many dinosaur lineages. Fossil evidence suggests that some dinosaurs migrated seasonally, moving between habitats in search of food and suitable nesting sites. Advances in technology have allowed scientists to reconstruct Jurassic environments in remarkable detail. Radiometric dating provides precise ages for rock layers, while isotopic analysis of fossil bones and teeth reveals information about diet, metabolism, and migration. Computer modeling helps paleontologists visualize ancient landscapes and track the movement of continents over time. The study of trace fossils, such as footprints and nesting sites, sheds light on behavior and social structure, offering glimpses into the lives of dinosaurs beyond their bones. The Jurassic period was a time of both continuity and change. Dinosaurs built on the evolutionary foundations laid in the Triassic, refining their adaptations and expanding into new ecological roles. The breakup of Pangaea created opportunities for speciation and diversification, while the stable climate supported the growth of giant herbivores and agile predators. The interplay between geology and biology shaped the course of evolution, driving the rise of some of the most spectacular animals ever to walk the Earth. As the Jurassic drew to a close, the stage was set for further innovation and expansion. Dinosaurs would continue to evolve, adapting to new environments and challenges. The legacy of the Jurassic lives on in the fossils that dot the world's landscapes, in the structure of the continents, and in the ongoing story of life's ability to endure and adapt. The Jurassic period's expansion was not just about the proliferation of dinosaur species. It was also a time when the relationships between animals, plants, and their environments became increasingly complex. As sauropods and other herbivores roamed the land, their feeding habits shaped the vegetation, which in turn influenced the distribution and behavior of other animals. The forests and plains of the Jurassic were alive with activity, from the slow, deliberate movements of giant sauropods to the swift, calculated hunts of theropods. The evidence for these interactions is preserved in the fossil record, not only in bones, but in footprints, coprolites, and even the arrangement of fossilized plants. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Jurassic is the emergence of social behavior among dinosaurs. Fossilized trackways, such as those found in the Paluxy riverbeds of Texas, show groups of sauropods moving together, suggesting herd behavior. This sociality would have provided several advantages. including protection from predators, increased foraging efficiency, and better care for young. Herds of sauropods could strip vast areas of vegetation, but their movement also helped disperse seeds and fertilize the soil, promoting the growth of new plants. The presence of juveniles alongside adults in fossil sites indicates that some species may have cared for their young, a behavior that would become more pronounced in later periods. Predators, too, adapted to the challenges of hunting in a world dominated by giants. Allosaurus, for example, was equipped with powerful jaws and sharp teeth, but it also relied on strategy and cooperation. Some paleontologists believe that Allosaurus may have hunted in groups, using coordinated attacks to bring down large prey. The structure of its skull and neck suggests that it could deliver powerful bites and withstand the struggles of its victims. Other theropods, such as Ceratosaurus, had distinctive horns and crests, which may have been used for display or combat. The diversity of predatory dinosaurs in the Jurassic reflects a range of hunting strategies and ecological roles, from solitary ambush predators to potential pack hunters. The interplay between herbivores and carnivores created a dynamic and ever-changing ecosystem. As sauropods migrated in search of food, they altered the landscape, opening up new areas for colonization by other species. Smaller herbivores, such as ornithopods and stegosaurs, exploited different niches, feeding on low-growing plants and using their speed and agility to avoid predators. The evolution of defensive adaptations, such as the plates and spikes of Stegosaurus, reflects the constant pressure exerted by carnivores. These features not only provided protection, but may have also played a role in social interactions and mate selection. The Jurassic was also a time of innovation in reproduction and growth. Fossilized nests and eggs, such as those found in the Tendaguru Formation, provide evidence of complex nesting behaviors. Some dinosaurs may have built communal nesting sites, while others buried their eggs for protection. The study of bone histology reveals rapid growth rates in many species, with juveniles reaching adult size in just a few years. This fast growth would have been advantageous in a world where predation was a constant threat, allowing young dinosaurs to quickly outgrow their most vulnerable stages. Beyond the land, the skies and seas of the Jurassic were equally dynamic. Pterosaurs, with their lightweight bodies and membranous wings, soared above the forests and coastlines, hunting for fish and insects. Their fossils are found on every continent, indicating a global distribution and a wide range of ecological roles. Some pterosaurs, like Ramphorhynchus, had long tails and sharp teeth for catching fish, while others, such as Pterodactylus, were adapted for a more generalist lifestyle. The evolution of flight opened up new possibilities for feeding, migration, and escape from predators. In the oceans, marine reptiles such as plesiosaurs and ichthyosaurs reached their peak diversity. Plesiosaurs, with their long necks and paddle-like limbs, hunted fish and squid in shallow seas, while ichthyosaurs, resembling modern dolphins, were fast swimmers capable of deep dives. The fossil record from sites like Holzmaden in Germany preserves entire skeletons of these animals, along with the remains of their prey. The abundance of marine life during the Jurassic reflects the stability and productivity of the oceans, which were less affected by the mass extinctions that periodically disrupted terrestrial ecosystems. The end of the Jurassic period saw further changes in climate and geography. As the continents continued to drift apart, new ocean currents and weather patterns emerged, influencing the distribution of plants and animals. The rise of flowering plants, although still in its early stages, began to alter the composition of forests and the diets of herbivores. These changes set the stage for the next great phase of dinosaur evolution, the Cretaceous explosion. The Jurassic dawn was a time of expansion, innovation, and complexity. Dinosaurs and their contemporaries adapted to a world in flux, experimenting with new forms, behaviors, and ecological roles. The legacy of this period is preserved in the rocks and fossils that continue to captivate scientists and the public alike. offering a window into a world both alien and familiar. The Age of Expansion laid the groundwork for the giants and marvels that would follow, ensuring that the story of dinosaurs would remain one of the most extraordinary chapters in the history of life on Earth. The sheer scale of sauropods in the Jurassic period continues to astonish paleontologists and enthusiasts alike. These giants, such as Brachiosaurus, Diplodocus, and Apatosaurus, were not only the largest land animals to ever exist, but also among the most successful. Their fossils are found across North America, Africa, Europe, and Asia, attesting to their global spread and ecological dominance. The anatomy of sauropods is a marvel of evolutionary engineering. Their long necks, sometimes stretching over 15 meters, allowed them to reach vegetation inaccessible to other herbivores. The structure of their vertebrae, with air-filled cavities, reduced the weight of these massive appendages while maintaining strength and flexibility. This adaptation, known as pneumaticity, is also seen in modern birds and is a key factor in the evolution of large body size. Sauropods' bodies were supported by columnar legs, much like the pillars of a suspension bridge. Their feet were broad and cushioned, designed to distribute their immense weight and prevent sinking into soft ground. The arrangement of their muscles and tendons allowed for efficient movement, enabling these giants to travel long distances in search of food and water. Despite their size, sauropods were capable of surprising agility, as evidenced by trackways that show rapid changes in direction and even running gaits. The study of sauropod locomotion has revealed a complex interplay between anatomy, behavior, and environment, with each species adapting to the specific challenges of its habitat. The digestive systems of sauropods were equally impressive. Their massive guts could process large quantities of tough, fibrous plant material, extracting nutrients from conifers, cycads, and ferns. Some paleontologists believe that sauropods may have swallowed stones, known as gastroliths, to help grind up food in their stomachs. The rapid growth rates inferred from bone histology suggest that sauropods reached adult size in just a few decades, a remarkable feat for animals weighing tens of tons. This fast growth would have been essential for survival, allowing juveniles to outgrow predators and compete effectively for resources. Sauropods were not solitary giants. Evidence from fossilized trackways and bone beds indicates that many species lived and traveled in herds. These social groups provided protection from predators, facilitated migration, and may have played a role in reproduction and care for young. The presence of multiple age groups within herds suggests a complex social structure, with adults and juveniles interacting in ways that are still being unraveled by paleontologists. The study of sauropod behavior is an active area of research, with new discoveries shedding light on the lives of these extraordinary animals. The impact of sauropods on Jurassic ecosystems was profound. Their feeding habits shaped the composition and structure of forests, influencing the evolution of plants and the distribution of other herbivores. The dung produced by sauropods enriched the soil, supporting a diverse community of insects, fungi, and microorganisms. The movement of herds across the landscape created pathways and clearings, opening up new areas for colonization by plants and animals. Sauropods were true ecosystem engineers, their presence felt in every aspect of the environment. Predators adapted to the challenge of hunting such massive prey. Allosaurus, the top predator of the Morrison Formation, was equipped with powerful jaws, sharp teeth, and strong forelimbs. Its skull was designed to withstand the stresses of biting into large animals, and its teeth were serrated for slicing through flesh. Allosaurus may have hunted in groups, using coordinated attacks to bring down sauropods and other large herbivores. The fossil record includes evidence of healed bite marks and injuries, suggesting that both predators and prey survived encounters and continued to interact over long periods. Other theropods, such as Ceratosaurus and Torvosaurus, occupied different niches within the ecosystem. Ceratosaurus, with its distinctive horn and robust build, may have been a solitary hunter, preying on smaller dinosaurs and scavenging carcasses. Torvosaurus, one of the largest Jurassic theropods, was a formidable predator with massive jaws and powerful limbs. The diversity of predatory dinosaurs reflects the complexity of Jurassic food webs, with each species adapting to specific roles and challenges. The Morrison Formation is one of the richest sources of sauropod fossils in the world. Located in the western United States, this formation has yielded thousands of specimens, including complete skeletons and trackways. The variety of sauropods found here, Apatosaurus, Diplodocus, Camarasaurus, and more, illustrates the diversity and abundance of these giants. The Tendaguru Formation in Tanzania is another important site, preserving a similar array of sauropods and other dinosaurs. These fossil beds provide invaluable insights into the lives and environments of Jurassic dinosaurs, helping scientists reconstruct ancient ecosystems in remarkable detail. The study of sauropods is not limited to their bones. Advances in technology, such as CT scanning and computer modeling, allow researchers to visualize the internal structure of fossils and simulate movement and behavior. Isotopic analysis of bones and teeth reveals information about diet, migration, and growth rates. The study of trace fossils, including footprints and coprolites, offers direct evidence of behavior and interactions. Each new discovery adds to our understanding of these giants, transforming them from static skeletons into living, breathing animals. The legacy of sauropods is felt not only in the fossil record, but in the ongoing fascination they inspire. Their sheer size and complexity challenge our understanding of biology and evolution, prompting new questions and discoveries. The age of sauropods was a time of innovation and adaptation, a testament to the power of natural selection and the resilience of life. As the Jurassic period continued, sauropods and their contemporaries would face new challenges and opportunities, setting the stage for the next great phase of dinosaur evolution. The Jurassic period was not only the age of the giants, but also a time when predatory dinosaurs, theropods, rose to new heights of diversity and specialization. These bipedal carnivores, ranging from nimble hunters to apex predators, played a crucial role in shaping the ecosystems of their time. The fossil record from the Jurassic reveals a fascinating array of theropods, each adapted to different environments and prey. Allosaurus, Ceratosaurus, and the early relatives of the mighty tyrannosaurs all made their mark, developing new anatomical features and hunting strategies that would influence the course of dinosaur evolution for millions of years. Theropods were characterized by their hollow bones, three-fingered hands, and sharp, recurved teeth, adaptations that made them efficient hunters. Their lightweight skeletons allowed for speed and agility, while their powerful hind limbs provided the strength needed for pursuit and attack. The evolution of the wishbone, or furcula, in theropods is particularly significant, as it strengthened the chest and provided attachment points for strong flight muscles in their distant avian descendants. This anatomical innovation, along with the development of feathers in some lineages, would eventually pave the way for the evolution of birds. Theropods were among the most dynamic and adaptable dinosaurs of the Jurassic, and their evolutionary story is one of constant innovation. The fossil record reveals a remarkable range of body sizes, shapes, and ecological roles within this group. Allosaurus, for example, was a top predator in the Morrison Formation of North America, reaching lengths of up to 12 meters. Its skull was equipped with dozens of sharp, serrated teeth, ideal for slicing through flesh. The structure of its jaws and neck allowed for a powerful, hatchet-like bite, and its strong forelimbs, each tipped with 3 large claws, were likely used to grasp and subdue struggling prey. Allosaurus's agility and speed made it a formidable hunter, capable of pursuing both large and small dinosaurs across open plains and forested landscapes. Ceratosaurus, another prominent Jurassic theropod, was smaller and more robust than Allosaurus, with a distinctive horn on its snout and blade-like teeth. Its shorter, deeper skull and powerful jaws suggest a different hunting strategy, perhaps focusing on ambush attacks or scavenging. Fossil evidence indicates that Ceratosaurus may have frequented wetter environments, such as riverbanks and floodplains, where it could prey on fish, crocodile-like reptiles, and smaller dinosaurs. The diversity of theropods in the Morrison Formation and similar sites points to a complex web of interactions, with each species occupying a unique niche and minimizing direct competition. The evolution of hollow bones was a key adaptation in theropods, reducing body weight without sacrificing strength. This feature, known as pneumaticity, is also seen in modern birds and is associated with efficient respiratory systems. The presence of air sacs connected to the lungs allowed for a continuous flow of oxygen, supporting high levels of activity and endurance. This adaptation was particularly important for active predators, enabling them to chase prey over long distances and recover quickly from exertion. The development of a three-fingered hand with flexible wrists and sharp claws further enhanced the hunting abilities of theropods, allowing them to grasp, hold, and manipulate objects with precision. Theropods were not limited to large, apex predators. The group also included a variety of smaller, more agile hunters, such as Ornitholestes and Coelurus. These dinosaurs were built for speed, with long legs, lightweight bodies, and keen senses. Their large eyes and forward-facing vision provided excellent depth perception, crucial for tracking and capturing fast-moving prey. Some small theropods may have hunted in packs, using coordinated attacks to overwhelm larger animals or defend against rivals. The fossil record includes evidence of group behavior, such as parallel trackways and bone beds containing multiple individuals of the same species. The Jurassic period also saw the emergence of the first feathered theropods, a development that would have far-reaching consequences for the evolution of birds. Fossils from China's Liaoning province, though dating to the later Jurassic and early Cretaceous, reveal that some small theropods were covered in simple, filamentous feathers. These structures likely served multiple functions, including insulation, display, and possibly even aiding in balance or gliding. The presence of feathers in non-avian theropods underscores the close evolutionary relationship between dinosaurs and birds, a connection supported by numerous anatomical similarities, such as the wishbone, hollow bones, and three-toed feet. Theropod behavior was as varied as their anatomy. Some species, like Allosaurus, show evidence of intraspecific combat, with healed bite marks and injuries suggesting fights over territory, mates, or food. Others, such as the dromaeosaurids, though more prominent in the Cretaceous, developed large sickle-shaped claws on their second toes, which may have been used for slashing prey or climbing. The study of theropod teeth and jaw mechanics reveals a range of feeding strategies, from bone-crushing bites to delicate precision strikes. Some theropods were specialized fish eaters, while others were opportunistic scavengers, feeding on carrion and leftovers from larger predators. The role of theropods in Jurassic ecosystems was multifaceted. As apex predators, they helped regulate populations of herbivorous dinosaurs, maintaining a balance within the food web. Their presence influenced the behavior and evolution of prey species, driving the development of defensive adaptations such as armor, spikes, and herding behavior. Theropods also played a role in nutrient cycling, breaking down carcasses and dispersing remains across the landscape. The interactions between predators and prey created a dynamic, ever-changing environment, with each group adapting in response to the other. The fossil record from the Jurassic provides a wealth of information about theropod diversity and evolution. Sites like the Morrison Formation in North America, the Tendaguru Formation in Tanzania, and the Shishugu Formation in China have yielded thousands of theropod fossils, ranging from complete skeletons to isolated teeth and bones. These discoveries have transformed our understanding of dinosaur biology, revealing a group that was far more varied and adaptable than once thought. Advances in technology, such as CT scanning and biomechanical modeling, allow scientists to reconstruct the movement, feeding, and behavior of these ancient predators in unprecedented detail. Theropods were not just hunters. They were survivors, innovators, and ultimately the ancestors of modern birds. Their story is one of adaptation and resilience, a testament to the power of evolution to shape life in response to changing environments and challenges. As the Jurassic period continued, theropods would continue to diversify, giving rise to new forms and behaviors that would define the next chapters of dinosaur history. The evolutionary trajectory of theropods during the Jurassic period set the stage for some of the most iconic and influential dinosaurs in Earth's history. As the continents continued to drift apart, new environments emerged, and theropods adapted to fill a variety of ecological roles. The fossil record from this time is rich with evidence of their diversity. From the massive, bone-crushing predators to the nimble, feathered hunters that would eventually give rise to birds. Each discovery adds another layer to our understanding of how these remarkable animals lived, hunted, and interacted with their world. One of the most intriguing aspects of theropod evolution is the development of specialized hunting strategies. Allosaurus, for example, was not just a brute force predator. Its anatomy suggests a degree of finesse in its attacks. The structure of its neck and jaw allowed for a wide range of motion, enabling it to deliver powerful, slashing bites. Studies of wear patterns on its teeth indicate that Allosaurus may have used a strike and withdraw technique, repeatedly biting and pulling away to inflict maximum damage. This method would have been effective against large prey, such as sauropods, which were too massive to be subdued by a single attack. The presence of healed wounds on sauropod fossils suggests that these encounters were often prolonged and brutal, with both predator and prey sustaining injuries. Ceratosaurus, with its distinctive nasal horn and robust build, occupied a different niche. Its shorter, deeper skull and strong jaws were well suited for gripping and tearing flesh, and its body was more compact than that of Allosaurus. Fossil evidence indicates that Ceratosaurus may have been more solitary, hunting smaller prey or scavenging carcasses left by larger predators. Its presence in wetter environments, such as riverbanks and floodplains, suggests a degree of ecological flexibility, allowing it to exploit resources that were less accessible to other theropods. The emergence of feathered theropods during the Jurassic represents a major evolutionary milestone. Fossils from China's Liaoning province, though primarily from the later Jurassic and early Cretaceous, reveal that some small theropods were covered in simple, filamentous feathers. These structures likely served multiple functions, including insulation, display, and possibly aiding in balance or gliding. The evolution of feathers is closely linked to changes in metabolism and growth rates, with feathered theropods exhibiting faster development and higher activity levels than their scaly relatives. The presence of feathers in non-avian theropods underscores the deep evolutionary connection between dinosaurs and birds, a relationship that is supported by numerous anatomical similarities. Theropod social behavior is another area of active research. Fossilized trackways and bone beds containing multiple individuals suggest that some species may have hunted or traveled in groups. This behavior would have provided several advantages, including increased hunting success, protection from rivals, and better care for young. The study of bone microstructure reveals evidence of rapid growth and high metabolic rates, traits that are associated with sociality and complex behavior in modern animals. The evolution of vocalization, display structures, and other forms of communication may have played a role in the development of social groups among theropods. The role of theropods in Jurassic ecosystems was multifaceted. As apex predators, they helped regulate populations of herbivorous dinosaurs, maintaining a balance within the food web. Their presence influenced the behavior and evolution of prey species, driving the development of defensive adaptations such as armor, spikes, and herding behavior. Theropods also played a role in nutrient cycling, breaking down carcasses and dispersing remains across the landscape. The interactions between predators and prey created a dynamic, ever-changing environment, with each group adapting in response to the other. Advances in technology have transformed our understanding of theropod biology and behavior. CT scanning and biomechanical modeling allow scientists to reconstruct the movement, feeding, and sensory capabilities of these ancient predators. Isotopic analysis of bones and teeth provides insights into diet, migration, and growth rates, while the study of trace fossils sheds light on behavior and social structure. Each new discovery adds to our understanding of how theropods lived and interacted with their environment, revealing a group that was far more varied and adaptable than once thought. The legacy of Jurassic theropods is felt not only in the fossil record, but in the ongoing fascination they inspire. Their diversity, adaptability, and evolutionary innovations challenge our understanding of biology and evolution, prompting new questions and discoveries. The age of theropods was a time of experimentation and adaptation, a testament to the power of natural selection and the resilience of life. As the Jurassic period drew to a close, theropods and their contemporaries would face new challenges and opportunities, setting the stage for the next great phase of dinosaur evolution. The Cretaceous period, spanning from about 145 to 66 million years ago, was a time of dramatic change and innovation in the world of dinosaurs. As the continents continued to drift apart, new landmasses and ocean basins formed, creating isolated environments that encouraged rapid evolution and diversification. The climate shifted once again, with warmer temperatures and higher sea levels, leading to the spread of vast inland seas and lush coastal plains. The rise of flowering plants, or angiosperms, transformed terrestrial ecosystems, providing new food sources and habitats for herbivorous dinosaurs. This era saw the emergence of some of the most iconic and diverse dinosaur groups, including the mighty tyrannosaurs, the duck-billed hadrosaurs, and the horned ceratopsians. The fossil record from the Cretaceous reveals a world teeming with life. From towering predators to intricately armored herbivores, dinosaurs adapted to a wide range of environments, from dense forests and open plains to coastal wetlands and desert landscapes. The breakup of continents led to the development of distinct faunas in North America, Asia, Africa, and Europe, each with its own unique assemblage of species. The interplay between climate, geography, and evolution drove the Cretaceous explosion, setting the stage for the final chapter in the Age of Dinosaurs. The Cretaceous period was a time of extraordinary evolutionary experimentation, and the fossil record from this era reveals a world in constant flux. As the continents continued to drift apart, the isolation of land masses led to the emergence of distinct dinosaur faunas on each continent. North America, for example, was split by the Western Interior Seaway, a vast inland sea that divided the continent into eastern and western landmasses. This division created unique environments on either side, fostering the evolution of new species and driving regional diversity. In Asia, the collision of landmasses and the rise of mountain ranges produced a patchwork of habitats, from arid deserts to lush river valleys. Africa and South America, now separated by the widening Atlantic Ocean, developed their own distinctive dinosaur communities, each shaped by local climates and resources. One of the most significant developments of the Cretaceous was the rise of flowering plants, or angiosperms. These plants, which first appeared in the early Cretaceous, rapidly diversified and spread across the globe. Their evolution transformed terrestrial ecosystems, providing new food sources for herbivorous dinosaurs and altering the structure of plant communities. Flowering plants produced seeds and fruits that were more nutritious and easier to digest than the tough, fibrous leaves of conifers and cycads. This shift in vegetation likely drove the evolution of new feeding strategies among herbivores, leading to the emergence of specialized groups such as the hadrosaurs, or duck-billed dinosaurs. Hadrosaurs were among the most successful herbivores of the late Cretaceous. Their broad, flattened beaks and complex dental batteries allowed them to process a wide variety of plant material, from soft leaves to tough stems. Some species, like Edmontosaurus and Parasaurolophus, developed elaborate crests and tubes on their heads, which may have been used for vocalization, display, or species recognition. Fossil evidence suggests that hadrosaurs lived in large herds, migrating seasonally in search of food and nesting sites. Their social behavior, rapid growth rates, and reproductive strategies made them highly adaptable, enabling them to thrive in a range of environments. The Cretaceous also saw the rise of the ceratopsians, or horned dinosaurs. Triceratops, with its massive frill and 3 facial horns, is perhaps the most famous member of this group. But the diversity of ceratopsians was far greater than once imagined. Fossils from North America and Asia reveal a wide array of horn and frill shapes, each adapted to different functions. Some paleontologists believe that these features were used for defense against predators, while others suggest they played a role in social interactions, such as mating displays or establishing dominance within herds. The discovery of large bone beds containing hundreds of individuals indicates that ceratopsians may have lived in complex social groups, with intricate behaviors and communication systems. Predatory dinosaurs also reached new heights of diversity and specialization during the Cretaceous. The tyrannosaurs, exemplified by the iconic Tyrannosaurus rex, evolved into some of the largest and most powerful land predators of all time. T-Rex, with its massive skull, bone-crushing bite and keen senses, was the apex predator of late Cretaceous North America. Its tiny 2-fingered arms have long puzzled scientists, but recent research suggests they may have been used for holding prey or aiding in mating. The evolution of such formidable predators drove the development of new defensive adaptations among herbivores, including armor, horns, and herding behavior. In Asia, the dromaeosaurs, or raptor dinosaurs, became highly specialized hunters. Velociraptor, made famous by popular culture, was a small but agile predator with a sickle-shaped claw on each foot, used for slashing and gripping prey. Fossil evidence from Mongolia's Jadokta Formation shows that dromaeosaurs may have hunted in packs, using coordinated attacks to bring down larger animals. Their close evolutionary relationship to birds is evident in their anatomy, with features such as feathers, wishbones, and advanced respiratory systems. The discovery of feathered dromaeosaurs has revolutionized our understanding of dinosaur evolution, blurring the line between non-avian dinosaurs and their avian descendants. The Cretaceous period was also marked by the continued success of sauropods, particularly in the southern continents. Titanosaurs, a group of massive, long-necked herbivores, dominated the landscapes of South America, Africa, and India. Some species, like Argentinosaurus and Patagotitan, reached lengths of over 30 meters and weights exceeding 70 tons, making them the largest land animals to ever exist. The anatomy of titanosaurs reveals a suite of adaptations for supporting such immense size, including columnar limbs, air-filled bones, and specialized vertebrae. Their fossils are often found in association with nesting sites, suggesting complex reproductive behaviors and social structures. The breakup of continents and the rise of new landmasses also influenced the evolution of other dinosaur groups. Ankylosaurs, with their heavily armored bodies and clubbed tails, spread across North America, Europe, and Asia, developing a range of defensive adaptations. Pachycephalosaurs, or dome-headed dinosaurs, evolved thick, bony skulls that may have been used in headbutting contests or display. The diversity of dinosaur forms during the Cretaceous reflects the dynamic interplay between geography, climate, and evolution, with each group adapting to the unique challenges of its environment. The fossil record from the Cretaceous is among the richest and most detailed of any period in Earth's history. Sites such as the Hell Creek Formation in North America, the Nemegt Basin in Mongolia, and the Kem beds in Morocco have yielded thousands of specimens, from complete skeletons to eggs, nests, and even traces of skin and feathers. These discoveries have transformed our understanding of dinosaur biology, revealing a world of complexity, innovation, and adaptation. The Cretaceous explosion was not limited to the land. It was a time of remarkable change in the skies and seas as well. Pterosaurs, which had first appeared in the Triassic, reached their peak diversity during the Cretaceous. Some, like Quetzalcoatlus, became the largest flying animals of all time, with wingspans exceeding 10 meters. These giants soared over coastal plains and inland seas, hunting fish, small vertebrates, and perhaps even scavenging from dinosaur carcasses. Other pterosaurs, such as Pteranodon, developed long, toothless beaks and crests, adaptations that may have aided in flight stability or species recognition. The fossil record from sites like the Niobrara Chalk in Kansas preserves exquisite details of pterosaur anatomy, including impressions of wing membranes and soft tissues, offering rare glimpses into their biology and behavior. Birds, the only surviving lineage of dinosaurs, also underwent significant diversification during the Cretaceous. Early birds like Confuciusornis and Ichthyornis retained many primitive features, such as teeth and clawed fingers, but they also developed advanced adaptations for flight, including a keeled breastbone and a more efficient respiratory system. The evolution of flight feathers, fused tail vertebrae, and a lightweight skeleton allowed birds to exploit new ecological niches, from forest canopies to open water. Fossil evidence from China, Spain, and North America reveals a rich diversity of Cretaceous birds, some of which were specialized for fishing, seed-eating, or even wading in shallow lakes. The interplay between birds and flowering plants may have driven the evolution of new pollination and seed dispersal strategies, further shaping terrestrial ecosystems. In the oceans, marine reptiles continue to dominate. Mosasaurs, a group of large predatory lizards, evolved powerful tails and paddle-like limbs, making them the top predators of Cretaceous seas. Some species, like Tylosaurus, reached lengths of over 15 meters and preyed on fish, turtles, and even other marine reptiles. Plesiosaurs, with their long necks and small heads, hunted fish and squid in shallow coastal waters, while pliosaurs, with massive jaws and robust bodies, were the apex predators of deeper seas. The fossil record from marine deposits such as the Western Interior Seaway in North America and the chalk formations of Europe provides a detailed picture of these ancient ecosystems, complete with fossilized stomach contents and evidence of predation. The Cretaceous period was also a time of intense evolutionary arms races between predators and prey. The rise of large, specialized herbivores drove the evolution of new defensive adaptations, from the armor and tail clubs of ankylosaurs to the elaborate frills and horns of ceratopsians. Some hadrosaurs developed complex social behaviors, such as nesting in colonies and caring for their young, which may have helped protect against predators. The discovery of fossilized nesting grounds, complete with eggs, hatchlings, and adult skeletons, provides direct evidence of these behaviors and offers insights into the reproductive strategies of dinosaurs. The climate of the Cretaceous was generally warm and humid, with high sea levels creating extensive shallow seas and coastal wetlands. These environments supported a rich diversity of plants and animals, from towering conifers and flowering plants to insects, amphibians, and mammals. The spread of angiosperms transformed terrestrial ecosystems, providing new food sources for herbivores and creating habitats for a wide range of organisms. The fossil record includes beautifully preserved flowers, leaves, and seeds, as well as the insects that pollinated them. This coevolution between plants and animals was a driving force in the diversification of both groups. The breakup of continents during the Cretaceous had profound effects on the distribution and evolution of dinosaurs. As landmasses drifted apart, populations became isolated, leading to the development of unique faunas on each continent. In South America, titanosaurs and abelisaurids dominated, while in North America, hadrosaurs, ceratopsians, and tyrannosaurs flourished. Asia was home to a diverse array of theropods, including the feathered dromaeosaurs and oviraptorosaurs, as well as unique herbivores like the beaked therizinosaurs. Africa, with its mix of arid deserts and lush river valleys, supported a distinctive fauna of spinosaurids, carcharodontosaurids, and rhybachisaurids. The isolation of Australia and Antarctica led to the evolution of unusual dinosaurs adapted to polar conditions, including small, feathered theropods and herbivores capable of surviving long periods of darkness. The end of the Cretaceous period was marked by dramatic changes in climate, sea level, and ecosystems. Volcanic activity, shifting continents, and fluctuating temperatures created new challenges for plants and animals. Despite these changes, dinosaurs continued to thrive, adapting to new environments and evolving new forms. The fossil record from the final million years of the Cretaceous reveals a world still rich in diversity, with complex food webs and intricate ecological relationships. Yet, beneath the surface, the stage was being set for one of the most significant events in Earth's history. The Cretaceous explosion of life and innovation would soon be brought to an abrupt end by a catastrophic event, forever altering the course of evolution. The legacy of the Cretaceous lives on in the fossils that continue to be unearthed around the world, in the birds that fill our skies, and in the enduring fascination with the age of dinosaurs. The Cretaceous period was a showcase for some of the most extraordinary defensive adaptations in dinosaur history. As predatory dinosaurs grew larger and more specialized, herbivores responded with an evolutionary arms race, developing armor, horns, spikes, and tail clubs to protect themselves and their young. Stegosaurs, ankylosaurs, and ceratopsians became icons of prehistoric defense, their fossils revealing a stunning array of anatomical innovations. These adaptations were not just for show. They played critical roles in survival, social interaction, and even species recognition. The fossil beds of the Red Deer River in Canada, the Gobi Desert in Mongolia, and the Badlands of Montana have yielded spectacular specimens, offering insights into how these remarkable dinosaurs lived, fought, and thrived in a world full of danger. The evolution of defensive adaptations among herbivorous dinosaurs is a testament to the pressures exerted by increasingly formidable predators. Stegosaurs, which first appeared in the Jurassic but persisted into the Cretaceous, are instantly recognizable by the double row of large, bony plates running along their backs and the formidable spikes on their tails. These features were not merely ornamental. The tail spikes, known as the thagomizer, could deliver powerful blows to attackers. Fossil evidence of injuries on both stegosaurs and predatory dinosaurs suggests that these weapons were used in real combat, with some predators bearing scars that match the size and shape of stegosaur spikes. Ankylosaurs took armor to the next level. Their bodies were covered in a mosaic of bony plates, or osteoderms, embedded in the skin, creating a shield that protected them from bites and slashes. Some ankylosaurs, like Ankylosaurus, developed massive tail clubs, dense, bony growths at the end of the tail that could be swung with enough force to break bones. The structure of ankylosaur tails reveals a complex system of muscles and tendons, allowing for rapid, powerful movement. These adaptations made ankylosaurs among the most well-defended animals of their time, and fossilized remains show that their armor was effective against even the largest predators. Ceratopsians, or horned dinosaurs, evolved a different suite of defenses. Their large frills and facial horns were used for both protection and display. Triceratops, with its 3 horns and broad frill, is the most famous example. But the group includes a wide variety of forms, from the small, agile Protoceratops to the massive, ornate Styracosaurus. The horns could be used to fend off attackers, while the frill protected the neck and may have served as a visual signal in social interactions. Some paleontologists believe that ceratopsians engaged in head-to-head combat, using their horns and frills in contests for dominance or mating rights. Evidence of healed wounds and bone damage supports the idea that these dinosaurs were not just passive grazers but active participants in the struggle for survival. The interplay between predator and prey drove the evolution of increasingly sophisticated defenses. Herbivores developed thick skin, rapid growth rates, and complex social behaviors to reduce the risk of predation. Fossilized trackways and bone beds suggest that many armored dinosaurs lived in groups, providing safety in numbers and allowing for coordinated defense against attackers. The presence of juveniles alongside adults indicates that some species cared for their young, further enhancing their chances of survival. The fossil record from sites like the Red Deer River in Alberta, Canada, and the Gobi Desert in Mongolia provides a wealth of information about these remarkable animals. Complete skeletons, skin impressions, and even traces of soft tissue reveal the details of their anatomy and behavior. Advances in technology, such as CT scanning and 3D modeling, allow scientists to reconstruct how these defenses worked in life, testing the strength of armor and the force of tail clubs. Each new discovery adds to our understanding of the evolutionary arms race that shaped the world of the Cretaceous. The diversity of defensive adaptations among Cretaceous herbivores reflects not only the threat posed by predators but also the complexity of their social lives. Many armored dinosaurs, such as ankylosaurs and ceratopsians, show evidence of living in herds or family groups. This social structure provided additional protection, as individuals could alert each other to danger and work together to fend off attackers. Fossilized bone beds containing dozens or even hundreds of individuals suggest that these dinosaurs may have migrated or gathered in large numbers, especially during nesting season or periods of environmental stress. The frills and horns of ceratopsians were likely multifunctional. While they certainly helped deter predators, their elaborate shapes and sizes also played a role in communication and species recognition. Differences in frill ornamentation and horn placement allowed individuals to identify members of their own species and distinguish themselves from rivals. Some paleontologists propose that these features were used in visual displays during mating rituals or territorial disputes, much like the antlers of modern deer. The discovery of pathologies, healed fractures and punctures on ceratopsian skulls supports the idea that these dinosaurs engaged in head-to-head combat, possibly to establish dominance or win mates. Stegosaurs, though less social than ceratopsians, also relied on their distinctive plates and spikes for more than just defense. The arrangement and vascularization of the plates suggest they may have played a role in thermoregulation, helping the animal absorb or dissipate heat. Some researchers believe the plates could have been used for display, making the animal appear larger or more intimidating to rivals and predators. The dual function of these structures highlights the evolutionary creativity of dinosaurs, as adaptations often served multiple purposes. Ankylosaurs, with their low-slung bodies and heavy armor, were built for defense above all else. Their tail clubs were not just passive deterrents, but active weapons, capable of delivering crushing blows. Studies of tail club mechanics show that ankylosaurs could swing their tails with remarkable speed and force, enough to break the legs of a predator or inflict serious injury. The distribution of armor across the body was strategic, with the thickest plates covering the most vulnerable areas. Some species even developed spikes along the sides and shoulders, further discouraging attacks from the flanks. The fossil record provides glimpses into the lives of these armored giants. Trackways reveal patterns of movement, suggesting that ankylosaurs and ceratopsians traveled in groups and may have followed seasonal migration routes. Nesting sites indicate that some species return to the same locations year after year, laying eggs in communal grounds and possibly caring for their young. The presence of juveniles in bone beds points to a degree of parental investment, with adults protecting and guiding their offspring through the dangers of the Cretaceous landscape. Advances in paleontology continue to shed light on the function and evolution of dinosaur defenses. High-resolution imaging and biomechanical modeling allow scientists to test hypotheses about the strength of armor, the impact of tail clubs, and the effectiveness of horns in combat. These studies reveal a world where survival depended on both physical adaptations and social strategies, with herbivores constantly evolving new ways to outwit and outlast their predators. While dinosaurs dominated terrestrial ecosystems, the skies and seas of the Mesozoic were ruled by other remarkable reptiles. Pterosaurs, the first vertebrates to achieve powered flight, soared above ancient landscapes, while marine reptiles such as plesiosaurs, mosasaurs, and ichthyosaurs thrived in oceans and inland seas. These groups were not dinosaurs, but they shared the archosaur heritage and evolved alongside their land-dwelling cousins, filling ecological roles that would later be occupied by birds and marine mammals. Fossil discoveries from places like the Niobrara chalk in Kansas, the Solnhofen limestone in Germany, and the Oxford clay in England have revealed stunning details about their anatomy, behavior, and interactions with dinosaurs, painting a vivid picture of life beyond the land. Pterosaurs were among the most extraordinary creatures of the Mesozoic, representing the first vertebrates to master powered flight. Their wings were formed by a membrane of skin and muscle, stretching from an elongated fourth finger down to their ankles, a design unlike anything seen in modern birds or bats. The diversity of pterosaurs was astonishing. Some, like the sparrow-sized Anuognathus, flitted through Jurassic forests hunting insects, while others, such as Quetzalcoatlus, boasted wingspans exceeding 10 meters and likely soared over vast coastal plains and inland seas. The fossil record, especially from sites like the Solnhofen limestone in Germany, preserves exquisite details of their anatomy, including impressions of wing membranes, pycnofibers, hair-like filaments, and even soft tissue crests. Pterosaurs adapted to a wide range of ecological niches. Some species, like Pteranodon, had long toothless beaks and large cranial crests, which may have been used for display or aerodynamic stability. Their fossils are abundant in the Niobrara chalk of Kansas, where they are often found alongside the remains of fish, suggesting a lifestyle similar to modern seabirds, soaring over the water and diving to catch prey. Other pterosaurs, such as Rhamphorhynchus, retained long tails and sharp teeth, ideal for snatching fish and small vertebrates from rivers and lagoons. The variety in skull shapes, beak lengths, and body sizes points to a complex web of feeding strategies and behaviors. The evolution of flight in pterosaurs required a suite of anatomical innovations. Their bones were hollow and reinforced with internal struts, providing strength without excessive weight. The shoulder girdle and chest were highly modified to anchor powerful flight muscles, and the brain was enlarged in regions controlling balance and vision. Some pterosaurs developed elaborate head crests, which may have played roles in species recognition, sexual selection, or thermoregulation. The presence of pycnofibers suggests that at least some pterosaurs were warm-blooded, capable of maintaining high levels of activity and possibly regulating their body temperature in varying climates. While pterosaurs ruled the skies, the seas were home to an equally impressive array of marine reptiles. Ichthyosaurs, which first appeared in the Triassic, evolved streamlined bodies and powerful tails, converging on a body plan similar to modern dolphins. They were fast swimmers, capable of deep dives and rapid bursts of speed to catch fish and cephalopods. Fossilized remains from sites like Holzmaden in Germany reveal pregnant females with developing embryos, providing some of the earliest evidence of live birth in reptiles. The extinction of ichthyosaurs in the mid-Cretaceous opened the door for other marine reptiles to dominate. Plesiosaurs and pliosaurs were among the most successful marine reptiles of the Jurassic and Cretaceous. Plesiosaurs, with their long necks and small heads, hunted by sweeping their necks through schools of fish or ambushing prey from below. Pliosaurs, in contrast, had massive skulls and powerful jaws, making them apex predators in their environments. The structure of their paddle-like limbs allowed for efficient underwater flight, propelling them through the water with grace and speed. Fossil evidence from the Oxford clay in England and other marine deposits shows that these reptiles occupied a range of ecological roles, from shallow coastal hunters to deep-sea giants. The late Cretaceous saw the rise of mosasaurs, a group of large, predatory lizards that became the dominant marine reptiles after the decline of ichthyosaurs and pliosaurs. Mosasaurs, such as Tylosaurus and Mosasaurus, grew to lengths of over 15 meters and were equipped with double-hinged jaws and backward-pointing teeth, adaptations for seizing and swallowing large prey. Their fossils are found in marine sediments worldwide, often alongside the remains of fish, turtles, and other marine reptiles. The discovery of soft tissue impressions and preserved skin patterns has provided new insights into their appearance and swimming abilities. The interactions between these marine and aerial reptiles and their dinosaur contemporaries were complex. While pterosaurs and marine reptiles were not dinosaurs, they shared the same ecosystems and sometimes competed for similar resources. Fossil evidence suggests that some pterosaurs scavenged on dinosaur carcasses, while marine reptiles may have preyed on the young or eggs of coastal nesting dinosaurs. The boundaries between land, sea, and sky were often blurred, with animals moving between environments in search of food, mates, and nesting sites. The study of pterosaurs and marine reptiles continues to evolve, with new discoveries challenging old assumptions and revealing the incredible adaptability of these ancient animals. Advances in imaging technology, biomechanical modeling, and comparative anatomy have deepened our understanding of how these creatures lived, moved, and interacted with their world. Their fossils, preserved in limestone, chalk, and shale, offer a window into a time when the skies and seas were as dynamic and diverse as the land, completing the picture of the Mesozoic as an era of unparalleled evolutionary innovation. The coexistence of pterosaurs and marine reptiles with dinosaurs highlights the complexity and interconnectedness of Mesozoic ecosystems. These animals were not isolated curiosities but integral parts of food webs that spanned land, sea, and air. Pterosaurs, for instance, played a vital role in coastal and inland environments, acting as both predators and scavengers. Their ability to travel long distances allowed them to exploit resources that were inaccessible to terrestrial dinosaurs, and their fossils are often found in association with fish, ammonites, and even small terrestrial vertebrates. Some species, like the ajdashids, may have stalked prey on land, using their long necks and powerful beaks to snatch small animals from the ground. Marine reptiles, meanwhile, were the apex predators of their domains. Mosasaurs, with their formidable jaws and streamlined bodies, hunted fish, turtles, and other marine reptiles, sometimes even preying on members of their own species. The discovery of bite marks and stomach contents in fossil specimens provides direct evidence of their diet and hunting strategies. Plesiosaurs and plesiosaurs occupied different niches, with long-necked forms specializing in ambush predation and short-necked forms relying on brute strength and speed. The diversity of marine reptiles in the Cretaceous was matched by the abundance of prey, including schools of fish, squid-like cephalopods, and smaller marine reptiles. The reproductive strategies of pterosaurs and marine reptiles were as varied as their lifestyles. Pterosaurs are believed to have laid eggs, with some species nesting in colonies on sandy beaches or rocky cliffs. Fossilized eggs and hatchlings suggest that parental care may have been limited, with young pterosaurs quickly becoming independent and capable of flight. Marine reptiles, on the other hand, show evidence of live birth, a remarkable adaptation for life in the water. Fossilized ichthyosaurs with embryos inside the body cavity provide some of the earliest examples of viviparity in vertebrates, and similar evidence has been found for some mosasaurs. The extinction of many marine reptiles and pterosaurs at the end of the Cretaceous was part of the broader pattern of mass extinction that affected life on land and in the sea. The causes of this event are still debated, but the impact of the Chicxulub asteroid, combined with massive volcanic eruptions and climate change, created conditions that were inhospitable for many large animals. The disappearance of pterosaurs and marine reptiles left ecological vacancies that would later be filled by birds and marine mammals, but their legacy endures in the fossil record and in the evolutionary innovations they pioneered. The study of these ancient reptiles has benefited from advances in technology and methodology. High-resolution imaging, isotopic analysis, and biomechanical modeling have allowed scientists to reconstruct the lives of pterosaurs and marine reptiles in unprecedented detail. The discovery of soft tissue impressions, preserved pigments, and even traces of muscle and skin has provided new insights into their appearance, physiology, and behavior. Each new fossil find adds to our understanding of how these animals moved, hunted, and interacted with their environment. Pterosaurs and marine reptiles were more than just contemporaries of the dinosaurs. They were key players in the evolutionary drama of the Mesozoic. Their adaptations for flight and swimming, their diverse feeding strategies, and their complex reproductive behaviors illustrate the incredible versatility of life in ancient ecosystems. The fossils they left behind continue to inspire wonder and curiosity, offering a glimpse into a world where the boundaries between land, sea, and sky were constantly shifting, and where evolutionary innovation was the rule rather than the exception. Dinosaurs were not just lumbering giants. They were complex animals with a wide range of behaviors, sensory abilities, and social structures. Recent discoveries and technological advances have allowed paleontologists to peer inside dinosaur skulls, analyze bone microstructure, and interpret fossilized trackways, revealing new insights into how these ancient creatures thought, sensed their world, and interacted with one another. From the sharp vision and keen sense of smell in predators like Tyrannosaurus rex, to the evidence of pack hunting in dromaeosaurs and the intricate nesting colonies of hadrosaurs, the behavioral repertoire of dinosaurs was as varied as their forms. The study of dinosaur brains, senses, and social life not only brings these animals to life, but also helps explain their evolutionary success and adaptability across millions of years. Understanding dinosaur behavior begins with the study of their brains and sensory organs, which are often inferred from the shape and structure of fossilized skulls. CT scans and endocasts, models of the brain cavity, reveal that many dinosaurs had surprisingly complex brains, with well-developed regions for processing sensory information, coordinating movement, and even engaging in social interactions. The encephalization quotient, EQ, a measure of brain size relative to body size, varies widely among dinosaur groups. Predatory theropods like Troodon and Velociraptor had relatively high EQs, suggesting advanced sensory perception and problem-solving abilities, while giant sauropods had smaller brains, likely sufficient for basic functions and coordination of their massive bodies. Vision was a critical sense for many dinosaurs. The forward-facing eyes of dromaeosaurs and other theropods provided binocular vision and depth perception, essential for hunting and navigating complex environments. Large optic lobes in the brain indicate that these predators relied heavily on sight to track and capture prey. Some herbivores, such as hadrosaurs, had eyes positioned on the sides of their heads, giving them a wide field of view to detect approaching threats. Fossil evidence of sclerotic rings, bony structures that support the eyeball, suggests that some dinosaurs were active during the day, while others may have been nocturnal or crepuscular, adapting their behavior to avoid predators or exploit different food sources. The sense of smell also played a significant role in dinosaur life. The olfactory bulbs, responsible for processing scent, are prominent in the skulls of many theropods, including Tyrannosaurus rex. This suggests that T. rex and its relatives could detect prey, carrion, or rivals from great distances, using scent to navigate their environment and locate food. Some herbivores, such as hadrosaurs and ceratopsians, may have used their sense of smell to find suitable plants or recognize members of their own species. The study of nasal passages and associated structures provides clues about how dinosaurs communicated, marked territory, and interacted socially. Hearing in dinosaurs is less well understood, but the structure of the inner ear and associated bones offers some insights. Theropods had elongated cochlear ducts, which are associated with the ability to detect a range of sounds, including low-frequency noises. This may have allowed them to communicate over long distances or detect the movements of prey and predators. Some paleontologists speculate that vocalizations, such as roars, calls, or even songs, played a role in social interactions, mating rituals, and territory defense. The discovery of crests and resonating chambers in hadrosaurs supports the idea that these dinosaurs could produce distinctive sounds, possibly for communication within herds. Social behavior among dinosaurs was diverse and complex. Fossilized trackways, bone beds, and nesting sites provide evidence of group living, migration, and parental care. Hadrosaurs, for example, are known to have nested in large colonies, with adults caring for eggs and hatchlings. The presence of multiple age groups in bone beds suggests that some species lived in family groups, providing protection and guidance to the young. Ceratopsians and sauropods also show signs of herding behavior, with individuals moving together in coordinated groups, possibly to reduce the risk of predation or improve foraging efficiency. Pack hunting is one of the most intriguing aspects of dinosaur behavior, particularly among dromaeosaurs and other small theropods. Fossil evidence from sites like the Deinonychus bone beds in Montana suggests that these predators may have worked together to bring down larger prey, using coordinated attacks and complex strategies. The structure of their brains and sensory organs supports the idea of advanced communication and cooperation, traits that are seen in modern birds and mammals. The study of bite marks, healed wounds, and feeding traces provides further evidence of social interactions, competition, and even cannibalism among some species. Parental care is another area where dinosaurs show remarkable similarities to modern animals. Fossilized nests, eggs, and embryos reveal that many species invested significant effort in raising their young, building nests, guarding eggs, and possibly feeding hatchlings. The discovery of brooding oviraptorids in Mongolia, preserved in a protective posture over their eggs, suggests that some dinosaurs incubated their clutches much like birds do today. Growth rings in bones indicate rapid development in juveniles, with adults providing food and protection during the most vulnerable stages of life. The study of dinosaur behavior is continually evolving, with new discoveries and technologies shedding light on the lives of these ancient animals. Advances in imaging, biomechanics, and comparative anatomy allow scientists to reconstruct not only how dinosaurs looked, but how they moved, sensed, and interacted with their environment. Each fossil, trackway, and nest adds to the picture of a world where dinosaurs were not just passive inhabitants but active participants in complex social and ecological networks. The behavioral complexity of dinosaurs extended beyond basic survival and reproduction, encompassing a range of social interactions, communication methods, and even possible tool use. Some paleontologists have proposed that certain theropods, particularly those with grasping hands and high intelligence, may have used objects in their environment to aid in feeding or nest construction. While direct evidence for tool use is limited, the anatomical features and brain structure of these dinosaurs suggest a capacity for problem solving and manipulation similar to that seen in modern birds and mammals. Communication among dinosaurs likely involved a combination of visual, auditory, and chemical signals. The elaborate crests, frills, and horns of hadrosaurs and ceratopsians were not only defensive structures, but also served as visual displays for attracting mates, establishing dominance, or signaling alarm. The coloration and patterns inferred from fossilized skin impressions and pigment analysis indicate that some dinosaurs may have been brightly colored, using their appearance to communicate with others or blend into their environment. Auditory signals, such as calls, roars, or low-frequency rumbles, could have been produced by specialized vocal organs or resonating chambers, as suggested by the hollow crests of lambeosaurine hadrosaurs. Chemical communication, though harder to detect in the fossil record, may have played a role in territory marking, mate attraction, or recognition of kin. Modern reptiles and birds use scent glands and pheromones for these purposes, and it is plausible that dinosaurs employed similar strategies. The study of nasal anatomy and associated structures provides indirect evidence for the importance of smell in social interactions and environmental navigation. Migration and seasonal behavior are also evident in the fossil record. Trackways and bone beds found in different regions suggest that some dinosaurs undertook long-distance migrations, moving between habitats in response to changes in climate, food availability, or breeding cycles. The presence of juvenile and adult fossils in the same deposits indicates that entire populations may have traveled together. forming large herds or flocks. These migrations would have required coordination, communication, and social cohesion, traits that are seen in modern migratory animals. The ability to adapt behaviorally to changing environments was a key factor in the evolutionary success of dinosaurs. Rapid shifts in climate, vegetation, and predator-prey dynamics required flexibility in feeding, nesting, and social organization. Some species developed specialized behaviors for surviving in extreme conditions, such as burrowing, nocturnality, or communal nesting. The diversity of behavioral strategies among dinosaurs reflects the complexity of their ecosystems and the challenges they faced over millions of years. Evidence for play and learning in dinosaurs is more speculative, but intriguing. Modern birds and reptiles engage in play behaviors, such as chasing, mock fighting, and object manipulation, which are important for developing social skills and cognitive abilities. The high intelligence and sociality inferred for some theropods suggest that similar behaviors may have existed among dinosaurs, contributing to their adaptability and resilience. The study of dinosaur behavior is a multidisciplinary effort, combining paleontology, comparative anatomy, biomechanics, and even psychology. Each new discovery, whether it is a fossilized nest, a trackway, or a bone with healed injuries, adds to our understanding of how these ancient animals lived and interacted. The reconstruction of behavior from fossils is challenging, requiring careful interpretation and sometimes a degree of informed speculation. But it is essential for bringing dinosaurs to life as dynamic, responsive creatures. As research continues, new technologies such as 3D modeling, virtual reality, and advanced imaging are providing unprecedented insights into dinosaur behavior. These tools allow scientists to simulate movement, test hypotheses about social interactions, and visualize ancient environments in detail. The integration of data from fossils, modern animals, and experimental studies is creating a richer, more nuanced picture of dinosaur life, one that goes far beyond the static skeletons in museum displays. Dinosaurs were not just passive victims of their environment. They were active agents shaping their world through complex behaviors, social structures, and interactions with other species. Their legacy is not only in their bones, but in the patterns of life and behavior that continue to influence the evolution of animals today. The age of dinosaurs came to a dramatic close about 66 million years ago, marked by one of the most catastrophic mass extinctions in Earth's history. The end Cretaceous extinction wiped out nearly 3/4 of all species, including all non-avian dinosaurs, marine reptiles, and many flying reptiles. The causes of this event have been the subject of intense scientific investigation, with evidence pointing to a combination of factors: the impact of a massive asteroid near present-day Chicxulub in Mexico, widespread volcanic eruptions in the Deccan Traps of India, and rapid climate change. These events triggered global darkness, cooling, acid rain, and ecosystem collapse, reshaping life on Earth forever. Yet from this devastation, new opportunities arose. Birds, mammals, and flowering plants survived and diversified, setting the stage for the modern world. The final days of the dinosaurs were marked by environmental upheaval on a scale rarely seen in Earth's history. The impact of the Chicxulub asteroid unleashed a cascade of catastrophic events: shockwaves, wildfires, and a global cloud of dust and debris that blocked sunlight for months or even years. Photosynthesis ground to a halt, causing a collapse in plant life and the food webs that depended on it. Temperatures plummeted, and acid rain fell as sulfur compounds from the impact and volcanic eruptions mixed with atmospheric moisture. The Deccan Traps, a vast region of volcanic activity in what is now India, spewed lava and toxic gases for thousands of years, further destabilizing the climate and poisoning the air and water. Dinosaurs, which had thrived for over 160 million years, were suddenly faced with a world that was unrecognizable. The large herbivores, dependent on abundant vegetation, starved as plants died off. Predators, in turn, lost their prey and struggled to survive. The fossil record from the end of the Cretaceous shows a dramatic decline in dinosaur diversity, with only a handful of species persisting in isolated pockets before vanishing entirely. Marine reptiles, pterosaurs, and many other groups met similar fates, their specialized adaptations unable to cope with the rapid and extreme changes. Yet, not all life was extinguished. Some groups managed to survive and even thrive in the aftermath. Birds, the only lineage of dinosaurs to endure, possessed several key advantages: small size, the ability to fly, and flexible diets. These traits allowed them to escape the worst effects of the extinction, finding food and shelter in environments that were inaccessible to larger animals. Mammals, which had lived in the shadow of dinosaurs for millions of years, also survived thanks to their burrowing habits, nocturnal lifestyles, and diverse diets. The extinction event cleared ecological space for these groups, setting the stage for their rapid diversification in the Paleogene period. The recovery of life after the end Cretaceous extinction was slow but steady. The first few million years were dominated by small, opportunistic species, birds, mammals, reptiles, and amphibians, adapting to a world in flux. Forests gradually returned as the climate stabilized, and new plant groups, especially flowering plants, spread across the continents. Mammals evolved larger body sizes and new forms, eventually giving rise to the ancestors of modern primates, ungulates, and carnivores. Birds diversified into a wide array of shapes and sizes, filling niches once occupied by pterosaurs and small dinosaurs. The extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs was a turning point in Earth's history, reshaping the trajectory of evolution and opening the door for the rise of mammals and birds. The legacy of the dinosaurs, however, endures in many ways. Birds retain the anatomical and behavioral hallmarks of their dinosaur ancestors. From feathers and hollow bones to nesting and parental care, the fossil record preserves the story of their survival and adaptation, offering clues about how life responds to crisis and change. Scientists continue to study the end Cretaceous extinction, seeking to understand the interplay of factors that led to such widespread devastation. Advances in geochemistry, paleontology, and climate modeling have revealed the complexity of the event, highlighting the importance of both sudden catastrophes and long-term environmental stress. The lessons of the extinction are relevant today, as humanity faces its own challenges of climate change, habitat loss, and biodiversity decline. The end of the age of dinosaurs was not just an ending, but a beginning. From the ashes of extinction, new forms of life emerged, evolving and diversifying to fill the empty niches. The resilience of birds and mammals, the spread of flowering plants, and the transformation of ecosystems set the stage for the world we know today. The story of extinction and survival is a reminder of the power of adaptation, the unpredictability of nature, and the enduring legacy of the dinosaurs. In the aftermath of the end Cretaceous extinction, the world was a place of emptiness and opportunity. The disappearance of the dominant dinosaurs and marine reptiles left vast ecological niches unoccupied, and the survivors, birds, mammals, reptiles, amphibians, and plants, began to adapt and radiate into these new spaces. The earliest Paleogene landscapes were marked by a proliferation of small, generalist species, each experimenting with new ways of living in a changed environment. Forests slowly recovered as the climate stabilized, and the return of vegetation provided food and shelter for the evolving animal life. Birds, as the only surviving dinosaurs, quickly diversified. Their ability to fly, combined with small size and flexible diets, allowed them to colonize a wide range of habitats. Some species became specialized for life in forests, wetlands, or open grasslands, while others adapted to aquatic environments or even returned to a more terrestrial lifestyle. The fossil record from the Paleogene shows a rapid increase in bird diversity, with new forms appearing in quick succession. The evolution of beaks, specialized feet, and complex vocalizations enabled birds to exploit resources and communicate in ways that were previously impossible. Mammals, long relegated to the margins by the dominance of dinosaurs, seized the opportunity to expand. The extinction event had favored small, nocturnal, and burrowing mammals, but as the world recovered, these animals evolved into larger and more varied forms. The earliest placental mammals began to radiate into new ecological roles, giving rise to the ancestors of modern primates, rodents, ungulates, and carnivores. Marsupials and monotremes also diversified, especially in regions like Australia and South America, where they faced less competition from placental mammals. The development of complex teeth, advanced brains, and social behaviors allowed mammals to thrive in the New World. The recovery of plant life was equally dramatic. Flowering plants, which had begun to spread during the Cretaceous, now became the dominant vegetation across much of the globe. Their rapid growth, efficient reproduction, and ability to form complex communities transformed terrestrial ecosystems. The coevolution of plants and pollinators, including birds and insects, drove further diversification and adaptation. Forests, grasslands, and wetlands expanded, providing habitats for the evolving animal life and stabilizing the climate through carbon sequestration and water regulation. Dinosaurs also serve as ambassadors for science, sparking curiosity and wonder in people of all ages. Their fossils are among the most popular exhibits in museums, drawing millions of visitors each year and inspiring future generations of scientists, artists, and explorers. Educational programs, documentaries, and interactive displays bring the world of dinosaurs to life, making complex scientific concepts accessible and engaging. The popularity of dinosaurs in popular culture has helped bridge the gap between science and society, fostering a sense of connection to the deep history of our planet. The influence of dinosaurs extends beyond the realm of science and education. Their imagery is used in advertising, fashion, and design, symbolizing strength, endurance, and transformation. Dinosaurs have become cultural icons, representing both the mysteries of the past and the possibilities of the future. Their story is a reminder that the world is constantly changing, that adaptation is essential, and that even the most dominant forms of life can be vulnerable to sudden shifts in the environment. In the natural world, the impact of dinosaurs is evident in the structure of modern ecosystems. The evolution of birds from theropod ancestors has shaped the dynamics of food webs, pollination, and seed dispersal. The disappearance of large herbivorous dinosaurs altered the composition of plant communities, influencing the evolution of grasses, trees, and other vegetation. The legacy of dinosaurian behaviors, herding, migration, nesting, can be seen in the social structures of birds and mammals today. The study of these connections helps scientists understand the long-term effects of evolutionary change and the resilience of life in the face of extinction. The ongoing discovery of new dinosaur fossils continues to challenge and refine our understanding of their diversity, biology, and evolution. Each find adds to the growing body of knowledge, revealing unexpected forms, behaviors, and relationships. The use of advanced technologies, such as synchrotron imaging, isotopic analysis, and ancient DNA sequencing, has opened new avenues for research, allowing scientists to probe the molecular and chemical details of fossils and reconstruct the lives of dinosaurs with unprecedented accuracy. These innovations are not only transforming paleontology, but also contributing to advances in medicine, engineering, and environmental science. Dinosaurs also play a role in conservation, serving as symbols of the importance of protecting biodiversity and understanding the consequences of environmental change. The story of their extinction is a powerful reminder of the fragility of life and the need to preserve the natural world for future generations. Efforts to conserve birds and other living descendants of dinosaurs are informed by the lessons of the past, highlighting the interconnectedness of all life and the value of scientific research in guiding conservation strategies. Fascination with dinosaurs is likely to endure as long as humans continue to explore and seek answers about the world around them. Their story is one of triumph and tragedy, innovation and adaptation, mystery and discovery. Dinosaurs connect us to the deep history of our planet, reminding us that we are part of a long and ongoing evolutionary journey. The study of their fossils, their living descendants, and their impact on the world is a testament to the power of curiosity, the importance of science, and the enduring legacy of life on Earth. The story of dinosaurs is inseparable from the science that reveals it. Paleontology, the study of ancient life through fossils, has transformed our understanding of Earth's history and the creatures that once inhabited it. From the first discoveries of giant bones in the 19th century to the high-tech analyses of today, paleontologists have pieced together the lives, environments, and evolutionary relationships of dinosaurs and their contemporaries. The field is a blend of geology, biology, chemistry, and even physics, requiring careful excavation, detailed analysis, and creative interpretation. Each fossil find is a window into a vanished world, and every new technique brings us closer to understanding the mysteries of deep time. The science of paleontology is a journey that begins in the field, often in remote and challenging environments where the rocks are ancient and the clues to the past are hidden beneath layers of earth. Paleontologists spend weeks or even months carefully surveying landscapes, searching for the telltale signs of fossils, fragments of bone, impressions in stone, or the subtle color changes that hint at buried remains. The process of excavation is meticulous and methodical. Each bone or fossilized plant is mapped, photographed, and documented before being removed, ensuring that its context within the rock is preserved for later study. Tools range from heavy picks and shovels to delicate brushes and dental picks, and sometimes even the most advanced technology cannot replace the patience and skill required to free a fossil from its stony tomb. Once fossils are collected, the work shifts to the laboratory, where preparation and analysis reveal their secrets. Fossils are cleaned, stabilized, and sometimes reconstructed, with missing parts inferred from related species or mirrored from the opposite side of the skeleton. High-powered microscopes, CT scanners, and synchrotron imaging allow scientists to peer inside bones, teeth, and even fossilized eggs, uncovering details invisible to the naked eye. These technologies can reveal growth rings in bones, the structure of blood vessels, and the arrangement of muscle attachments, providing insights into how dinosaurs grew, moved, and lived. Dating fossils is a crucial part of paleontology, as it places discoveries within the broader timeline of Earth's history. Radiometric dating, which measures the decay of radioactive isotopes in volcanic ash layers or minerals, provides precise ages for rocks and the fossils they contain. Other methods, such as biostratigraphy, use the presence of certain fossil species to correlate rock layers across different regions. These techniques have allowed paleontologists to build a detailed chronology of dinosaur evolution, extinction events, and environmental changes over hundreds of millions of years. The interpretation of fossils goes beyond anatomy. Paleontologists reconstruct ancient environments by studying the rocks and sediments in which fossils are found. The grain size, mineral content, and layering of sediments reveal whether a site was once a river, lake, desert, or forest. Fossilized pollen, leaves, and wood provide clues about the climate and vegetation, while the presence of certain minerals can indicate periods of volcanic activity or changes in sea level. Trace fossils, footprints, burrows, coprolites, fossilized dung, offer direct evidence of behavior, movement, and even diet, painting a vivid picture of life in the past. Collaboration is at the heart of modern paleontology. Teams of scientists from around the world work together to excavate, analyze, and interpret fossils, sharing data and expertise across disciplines. Advances in genetics and molecular biology have opened new frontiers, allowing researchers to compare the DNA of living birds and reptiles with the proteins preserved in dinosaur bones. These studies have confirmed the evolutionary relationships between dinosaurs and birds, and have even provided glimpses of ancient colors, growth rates, and diseases. Paleontology is also a science of imagination and reconstruction. Artists and scientists work side by side to create lifelike models, illustrations, and digital reconstructions of dinosaurs and their environments. These visualizations are grounded in evidence, but require creative interpretation to fill in the gaps left by incomplete fossils. The result is a dynamic and evolving picture of the past, one that is constantly updated as new discoveries are made and new technologies are developed. The impact of paleontology extends far beyond the scientific community. Fossils inspire wonder and curiosity in people of all ages, connecting us to the deep history of our planet. Museums, documentaries, and educational programs bring the story of dinosaurs to life, making complex scientific concepts accessible and engaging. The popularity of dinosaurs in culture and media has helped foster a broader appreciation for science, evolution, and the importance of preserving our natural heritage. Despite the advances of recent decades, many mysteries remain. Vast regions of the world are still unexplored, and new fossil sites are discovered every year. The fossil record is incomplete, shaped by the accidents of preservation and discovery, and each new find has the potential to overturn long-held assumptions. The search for soft tissues, ancient DNA, and molecular fossils continues, promising to reveal even more about the biology and behavior of dinosaurs. Paleontology is a science rooted in the past, but always looking forward. It is a discipline that thrives on curiosity, collaboration, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. The story of dinosaurs, and the science that uncovers it, is a testament to the power of human ingenuity and the enduring fascination with the mysteries of life on Earth. The evolution of paleontology as a science has paralleled advances in technology and shifts in scientific thinking, transforming our understanding of dinosaurs from lumbering, cold-blooded reptiles to dynamic, complex animals that dominated their ecosystems for over 160 million years. Early paleontologists, working in the 19th and early 20th centuries, often relied on fragmentary remains and limited comparative anatomy, leading to reconstructions that now seem quaint or even fantastical. The Bone Wars between Othniel Charles Marsh and Edward Drinker Cope in the late 1800s, for example, produced a flurry of discoveries, but also a legacy of errors and rivalries that shaped the field for decades. Yet, these early efforts laid the groundwork for the rigorous, evidence-based science that paleontology has become. As the 20th century progressed, new fossil discoveries and improved excavation techniques began to fill in the gaps. The unearthing of nearly complete skeletons in North America, Mongolia, and South America allowed scientists to reconstruct entire animals and compare them across continents. The development of cladistics, a method for analyzing evolutionary relationships based on shared characteristics, revolutionized the classification of dinosaurs, revealing unexpected connections and clarifying the branching tree of dinosaur evolution. This approach, combined with advances in computer modeling and statistical analysis, has made it possible to test hypotheses about dinosaur relationships, biogeography, and even rates of evolutionary change. The integration of paleontology with other scientific disciplines has been especially fruitful. Geologists provide context for fossil finds, helping to reconstruct ancient landscapes and date rock layers with increasing precision. Biologists and anatomists contribute insights into the function and development of bones, muscles, and organs, while chemists analyze the isotopic composition of fossils to infer diet, metabolism, and migration patterns. The collaboration between paleontologists and geneticists has yielded some of the most exciting breakthroughs, such as the recovery of ancient proteins from dinosaur bones, and the comparison of these molecules to those of living birds and reptiles. These studies have confirmed the close evolutionary relationship between birds and theropod dinosaurs, and have even hinted at the colors and patterns of dinosaur feathers. The search for soft tissues and biomolecules in fossils has opened a new frontier in paleontology. While DNA degrades rapidly and is unlikely to survive for millions of years, proteins, pigments, and other molecules can sometimes be preserved under exceptional conditions. The discovery of collagen in the bones of Tyrannosaurus rex and the identification of melanosomes in fossil feathers have provided direct evidence of dinosaur biology that was once thought impossible to obtain. These molecular fossils offer a glimpse into the physiology, coloration, and even the diseases of ancient animals, bridging the gap between paleontology and molecular biology. Fieldwork remains at the heart of paleontology, and the discovery of new fossil sites continues to reshape our understanding of dinosaur diversity and distribution. The deserts of Mongolia, the badlands of North America, the rainforests of South America, and the outcrops of China have all yielded spectacular finds, from feathered dinosaurs to giant sauropods. Each new site brings its own challenges: harsh climates, remote locations, and the delicate nature of fossils, but also the promise of new insights into the history of life. The global nature of paleontology has fostered international collaboration, with scientists from different countries working together to excavate, study, and interpret fossils. The interpretation of fossils is an ongoing process, subject to revision as new evidence emerges. Theories about dinosaur posture, locomotion, and behavior have changed dramatically over the past century. Once depicted as sluggish, tail-dragging reptiles, dinosaurs are now understood to have been active, often fast-moving animals with sophisticated social behaviors and complex life histories. The discovery of nesting sites, trackways, and even evidence of disease and injury has brought dinosaurs to life as real animals. Not just skeletons in stone, public engagement is a vital part of paleontology's mission. Museums, documentaries, and educational programs play a crucial role in sharing discoveries with the world and inspiring future generations of scientists. The popularity of dinosaurs in popular culture has helped to demystify science and foster a sense of wonder about the natural world. Fossils are not just scientific specimens. They are cultural treasures that connect us to the deep past and remind us of the ever-changing nature of life on Earth. Looking ahead, the future of paleontology is bright. New technologies, such as drone mapping, remote sensing, and artificial intelligence, are making it easier to locate and analyze fossil sites. Advances in imaging and molecular analysis promise to reveal even more about the biology and ecology of dinosaurs. As climate change and human activity threaten fossil sites and modern biodiversity, the lessons of the past are more relevant than ever. Paleontology offers a long-term perspective on extinction, adaptation, and resilience, providing valuable insights for understanding and protecting the world we live in today. The science of paleontology is a testament to human curiosity, creativity, and perseverance. It is a field that bridges the gap between past and present, science and imagination, discovery and understanding. Through the study of dinosaurs and the ancient worlds they inhabited, we gain not only knowledge of Earth's history, but also a deeper appreciation for the complexity and beauty of life itself.